announcing. This is the Side Piece Podcast for our listeners.
I play a lot of music. It's a music show most of the time.
On the podcast?
No, like on the air.
Oh, okay,
it's a
on
lot
the
of
air.
music stuff.
Okay.
But I'm involved with a lot of other stuff, and I'm interested in a lot of other things besides music.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to get in depth with the interesting people that I want to talk to and the topics I want to talk about. So I have the podcast to kind of have those extended conversations that I can't have in between Black Sabbath and,
right,
Royal Blood.
And you can't say fuck. Go ahead and say fuck.
I love
it's
saying
fun.
fuck. Can
Go
I
ahead.
just... People that listen to the podcast, I don't swear a lot, but it slips out every now and then. And they're like, it's so weird to hear you swear. And I'm like, do you know how hard it is to not swear for 5 hours every day?
Right? Seriously.
It's really hard. Try to
Ready?
do it.
Let's do
It's
George
hard.
Carlin. Go ahead. Just breathe and go, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits, pussy, ass. What did George Carlin say? You can say whatever you want.
You left out shit.
Oh,
Did
shit.
you say cunt?
Sorry. Cunt.
Yeah.
Cunt. That's the bomb.
Yeah,
That's the
that's the
motherfucking
bomb.
King Kong
Yeah.
bomb. You fucking cunt. When you
Yeah.
say that,
I feel like-
if you call a guy a cunt,
It's
that's
embarrassing.
Right.
It's
Good.
emasculating.
Or you're from England. They use that word a lot, right?
You fucking cunt.
call
Oh,
each other
yeah.
cunt.
You
and
know
it's,
what's
and it's not that big of an insult.
No.
It's like every day they use
Wait,
that word.
so is cunt a jerk in the UK?
yeah, it's not
Yeah,
as
it's
bad.
It's not as offensive.
So funny how
But
it
I
works.
reserve it. When I use it, you've earned it.
Oh, yeah.
Like I reserve that word for when it's necessary.
That's
which
well
is-
known as the atom bomb of
Which is
words.
worse,
Yeah.
though? Cunt or twat? Sometimes I go twat. 'cause you
Twat
don't
sounds
hear
a
it
little
as much.
wet to me.
Yeah.
Right? It sounds like an
sounds more
excited
offensive.
bitch.
I don't
if you
think
ask me.
it rolls off the tongue as well.
No.
I think cunt is just easier. It's quicker. It's
And
I
I,
think-
only use these words while I'm driving in traffic. The rest of my life,
Wait, you swear in Boston traffic? You
Can you
swear
imagine?
you're not happy? It doesn't work.
7-year-old
doesn't work well.
my
Can I
7-year-old's
hold my
getting a
microphone?
good-
I was just
Is
gonna
that
say
okay?
you can do whatever you
That's
want
what
with
I
your
don't want to
microphone.
lean forward. I
I'm
want to
gonna-
lean back and drink.
That's it. I'm going to
Say
do it too.
fuck.
I'm just going to
It's
say
fantastic.
I don't give a fuck. So, Mistress Carrie, I've been for a while trying to get you on the show.
Yeah, I
And-
apologize for
No,
giving you the
no.
runaround, man. I apologize.
Absolutely not, and thank you so much for coming on.
I'm
But
busy.
so let's talk about the first time we met. Guarantee
Oh.
you don't remember.
I
'cause
don't
you
know
give
if I
a shit.
remember.
Well, I'll
We
tell you.
used to call you Tom Cruise. That I remember.
I like it's good. She's
Because he
starting
wears
good.
lifts in his shoes.
He's a little guy. He's like Tom Cruise. He's a
He
little
worships
shit.
spaceships.
I know. You want to talk about a guy that went from fucking gorgeous to a complete maniac.
I know.
Spaceships under is it no Mormons?
No,
in the
that's
underwear.
Mormons.
Yeah, that's the magic underwear. Yeah.
So, 1998, Ozone, John Osterland, who we've had on the show a couple times here.
Yeah.
We went up north to Vermont and we went skiing to Okemo Mountain. And you were on the street team at the time. I was an intern.
Oh, so
right?
this was what, the summer of 98?
90.
Or 90? I was on the street team.
When did you go on the air? What was the first time you were on the air? Like your first gig?
Well, part-time on the weekends, it was like February of 98. I
Okay.
was on the street team from 94 to 98.
So I was his intern in the fall of 98. And
So
then,
I started on the air on April 17th, 98. So I was already on the air by the time.
Gotcha.
If it was in the fall.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
But whatever it was, I swear to God you were on the... Anyway.
Because I was on at night, so Ozone was still on during the day.
You were definitely still on the street team. So
Okay,
it must have
so
been
maybe it
earlier.
was 97.
Yeah, I was going to say it. Oh, that's right. It was.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I talking about?
I don't know.
All right. Anyway, so the funniest story is this. So how I meet you is Ozone's like, hey, Cruz. Tom Cruise.
Cruise.
Let's go up the mountain. So I'll never forget. So, let's go up the mountain. And John doesn't seem like the guy that fucking skis, you know?
No, but he skied well.
Yeah.
You going to plug your microphone in?
I don't know.
What are you
What-
doing over there?
I don't know. I'm afraid.
Your
I
microphone's-
should probably keep
it's
it
falling
plugged
out.
in because it's going to
You
fucking
never do
snap.
that.
So we go up the ski lift and we have a listener on the ski lift with us. So the guy pulls out a fucking joint at the size of a gorilla finger, right? So we start getting high.
Ozone smoked really
Still.
good weed
Dude.
back then.
Dude,
Still does?
Oh, when I went,
Oh,
I
God.
went down to see him in New Orleans. He was fucking blazed out of his mind, but he's still Johnny. It's just
It just
water.
shows you how much smarter he is than everyone else because he can be that high and still highly functional.
You ever do that at work? You ever get ripped and go to work like fucking
No.
stone? Like I used
I'll-
to do overnights. I've done it. Believe me, I've done everything on the overnights.
No.
I don't.
I
it's
can't
not
do it.
good.
I
It's
got
not good.
accidentally high once at work by Mike Shue.
Accidentally.
It was a total accident. I swear to God. I'll tell you the story. I don't want to derail your interview.
That's all right. We're going up the Okemo Mountain, but
Yeah.
we'll pause in the
It's
freezing
okay.
weather
It was,
for you.
It was mostly going to be about Tenny anyway, so you could just go. I'd like to hear a story from you.
Like, I was having a massive shoulder problem, like really bad shoulder pain from an old javelin throwing injury when I was in high school.
Who doesn't have those?
I know,
yeah.
right? And I had been complaining to Shu, like, dude, my shoulder is killing me. Since then, I found out from testing and whatever that my levator scapula muscle was pulling off of my neck bone, which you can imagine would
That
be
sounds
incredibly
painful.
painful.
Yep.
So I'm at work complaining about how bad my shoulder hurt and that it was sending like blowtorch burning pain down my arm. It was really bad. So Mike Shue comes into the studio and I was still doing afternoons at the time. So I don't know, it was like 4:30 or no, it was like 3:30. He was getting ready to leave. And he comes in and he's like, listen, go, like take this. It always helps me sleep and it'll probably help your shoulder. So I was like, all right, cool.
Was it an edible?
It was a pill, like a capsule, right?
Take this.
So
Good
I
luck.
was like, it's Mike Shue, so of course I'm going to take
You
it.
sure it wasn't Bill Cosby with the Mike Shue mask on?
So he leaves, right? So I'm like, all right, so I'm just going to take this thing. Like, I don't know what the hell it is, but he's telling me it's going to help my shoulder. I'm good with that. So like a half hour later, I text him and I go, dude, I feel better already. Thank you so much. And he goes in all caps. I get a text back. Now I'm on the air at the time. And he's like, you didn't take that, did you? And now I'm
Why would he give it to you
freaking
and say
out.
that?
That's terrible.
And I was like, yes. And he just writes back, order pizza now. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, I gave that to you to take before bed.
Oh.
Like when you get home
I
tonight
see.
and you're going to bed, take it before you go to bed. And I am now in the studio on the air. And he's like, oh, man, you got to order pizza. Like,
That's a terrible feeling.
it's going to get
'cause
real in about a half hour.
Are you serious?
Oh, it was bad. I don't know if I've ever been that high.
Wait,
and-
so it kicked in when you were on the air?
Yes, of course it did. I took it at like 3:30. And I'm in the studio and I can only imagine my pupils. And
yeah.
and I've been on the air for 19 and a half years.
Yeah.
And now I'm in the studio and I'm like, what am I going to say?
What if somebody
Are
from
they-
sales walks in and
Are they
starts
gonna-
talking
are
to
they gonna
me?
know I'm high?
They definitely know you're high.
Everybody can tell. They can totally tell I'm high right now. And then I'm sitting there and I'm playing like Sabbath and
cranking it up,
Floyd
aren't you?
and I
You're
got it
fucking
cranked and I'm losing myself. I got my headphones on. I got the lights down and I'm like, oh my God, I have to go on the air again. What am I going to talk about? What if they know?
Oh, they know.
What if they know? Then I get off the air at 7 and I'm in my office, which
Wait, hold on. Back up. So it hits you. It hits you.
yeah.
Who came in the studio?
Nobody did.
Stop it.
I don't know how. It's the first time in 19 years.
Because everybody used to come in on me.
No.
When I used to fill in for you,
Yeah.
fucking people would come in all,
all
the time. What's
time.
up, Denny? We're going to do
Yeah,
this, gonna
no,
do that.
nobody came in. Everybody left me alone. I don't know why.
Although you're later in the day at that
yeah,
point. You're
so
3
I think
to 7.
like the
so-
office had been
Yeah,
closed.
yeah.
Like everybody was gone. So I get off the air at 7 o'clock, and now I'm sitting in my office, and I'm like, what am I gonna do?
What should I do?
Like,
I think I want to eat pizza.
where do I go? Like, I'm in my office. I got a TV. I got the radio on. I got the TV on. There's music playing.
So it sounds like you started to love it. You started to fall into
Well, I would have been
being okay with it.
It would have been great if I took
you
it
weren't
at
freaking out.
home. No, I wasn't freaking out, but I was like, I need to get home. Like,
oh, I didn't think of that
I'm
part.
in Boston.
I'm fucking high, dude.
Like, I gotta get
And it's
home
not legal
eventually.
yet.
Like, what am I gonna do? So I'm like, I'm gonna hang out for a while, and we'll see how I feel.
So when you used to do the shift 3 to 7,
Yeah.
there was literally nobody around, right?
No.
Everybody was gone.
I don't have a producer. I don't have a co-host. Like, there's nobody around. So it was just me running everything, like doing my own show prep, pushing my own buttons, all
high
of that.
as shit.
And this time I'm high as shit.
Wait, did you have a night jock come in? Because I remember
Yeah.
they ended the night jock.
Yeah,
stuff.
but there's still somebody that comes in to run the boards and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was like, hey, how you doing? Hey, I got a lot of work to do in my office. And because I'm their boss.
And your eyes look like you got tomato sauce on them.
Seriously. So I'm like in my office and I'm like, what am I going to do? So I end up like watching some movie on the TV in my office, like laying on the couch. And I'm like, eventually I have to go home. Like, I
Yeah.
can't sleep here. I have to
Right.
go home.
I
gotta
feel like
leave.
the worst part of that would be when you were waiting for it to kick in. Now you know you've
The
taken
anxiety
it.
of-
Yeah, but I
Yes.
didn't realize that what I took was going to hit me with a sledgehammer.
Wait, you also
Yeah,
didn't know what the fuck
I
you were
didn't
taking.
know what it was. I was just like, thank you, Mike Shue.
Mike Shue could have been fucking Jim Jones and gave you the fucking pill that
I'll
killed
tell
you.
you. So the next morning,
Well, Shue's a veteran of the show. He's done fucking 3 shows. Actually, only 1 aired.
Only one aired. That's okay.
so I eventually made it home. Got
Okay.
the best night's sleep of my life. Woke up, my arm felt great. Mike Shue calls me at like 7 a.m. and he's like, hey, I just want to check up on you. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, are you coming into work today? And I'm like, yeah, I feel good, dude. And he's like, you really had me worried. And I was like, dude, you gave it to me, so I took it. And he was like, don't do that. So I get into work and he puts another one on the counter and he goes, this is for the next time you need it.
Yeah.
Don't take it now. Do you hear me? Don't take it now.
Yeah. Now you know how it works.
Yeah. So anyway, go back to Okemo because that was my story about getting
One
accidentally high
other
with Mike
thing.
Shue.
So driving home high. I remember one time driving home high from AAF back to my home because I used to do overnights and I would get high as soon as I leave in the parking lot. I was driving down 93
Real
and I
winner.
thought I saw a tennis court in on 93 and I went,
Across the.
I remember driving going, there's a fucking, somebody erected a tennis court.
Did Mike Shue give you that weed too?
I don't know, but I'll never forget going, and I go, okay, we're good. There's no tennis
We're
court.
just gonna hit it.
We're going to get home. All right, so I'm going up the, what do you call those? Gondolas?
Yeah, the ski lift.
All right, so it's me, Ozone, a listener.
And a
I was
giant joint.
I'm so happy to be fucking Denny from AAF. I was an intern.
No, you were
at the-
Tom
I was
Cruise,
Tom
dude.
Cruise. I'm little Tom Cruise. I'm going up. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to fucking smoke the shit out of it. Yeah, getting high. We get up the top. No, we got to the middle. Okemo's so fucking big. I've never been to a fucking ski resort that they go, oh, you go to the middle, then get
Then
on
you take
another
another
ski
one.
you
lift.
get a layover.
Oh, we had
getting
to
to the
we had
top.
to end it here and then go way up.
Then a
Dude,
Sherpa will escort you to the top of the mountain.
honest to fucking God, dude.
You need
no
a pack
lie.
mule.
This guy gets off. I'm fucking stoned out of my mind. Me and Ozone take the next fucking thing to, I don't know, I think I could high five Jesus at the top. I get up there, and he goes, Cruz, you good skier? I'm like, I'm not really that good.
Oh, let's go down the Black Diamond.
It's exactly
Yeah,
it.
of course.
There was fucking moguls in Fogels, not Fogels moguls,
Not
not
Fogel.
Jared Fogel, that piece of
Good,
shit.
thank God.
But no, we're coming down, and I'm like, he's way ahead of me. My knee goes,
What?
my knee snaps, pop. I had popped my knee in college, so this was nothing new, and I went, God damn it! And I started to feel the sweat and the fucking fear. So I literally limped my way down the rest of the mountain while Ozone was like, fuck yeah! He gets down at the very bottom in the ski lodge. That was the first time I met you. I'll never forget my knee was fucked up, and I was like, hey. And you were like,
I'm
hey,
high,
I'm Carrie. Yeah,
my
I'm-
knee's fucked up.
But you were very sweet to me. And I'll tell you something right now.
Really?
You've always been, through my career, 9 years at AAF, I want to thank you, first off, for being so sweet to me.
Don't tell anybody I'm nice.
No.
You don't
I mean,
ruin my
honestly-
reputation.
But the one thing I always remember about my days at AAF was I always appreciated you. You always stuck up for me. You always and literally the job that I got after you literally vouched for me, and I appreciate that.
It was because we were trying to get rid of you, and if we badmouthed you, you wouldn't be able to
Just
go
take
anywhere.
him.
You go, he's so fucking tiny. How does he even speak
So
into that
small.
microphone?
Can he even fit in a desk?
Is he a midget or a dwarf?
Do you
What
have
is
telephone books to put on his seat?
he? He's a little guy. He's a
Can
little
we have
guy.
a booster seat?
So let's talk about you. So I know the story,
Me
and
or
I love
her?
it about how you got into radio because I was a huge O&A fan.
Yeah.
Huge Opie and Anthony
Still
fan.
am.
So same here, but
Yeah.
they've
Well,
switched ships. But
yeah,
I
they're
love,
doing all kinds of
lots
weird
changed.
stuff now.
So
yeah.
if you're listening, you don't know, Opie and Anthony they started in actually came together, I believe, in Long Island, but then actually really came together in Boston.
yeah.
They
in like
were
what, 95, 96, something
95,
like that?
96, and then they killed it. They did great, and
Then they
of
got
course,
fired.
And they killed the mayor.
Well, they said the mayor
Yeah.
died, but that was where you started, right? So
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit. I think that's interesting how Opie, who, once again, we still love to listen to,
Yeah.
got you started.
He gave me some of the best career advice I ever got. So I started as an intern in 91, and then I got on the street team right before I graduated from college in 94, driving the van, doing the whole thing, handing out bumper stickers, that whole thing.
Yep.
And I had applied for every full-time job and, was just not qualified. I had
Where'd you
gotten
go
out
to
of
college?
college. I went to Newberry College and got my associate's degree, and then I went to Framingham State and got my
Okay.
bachelor's degree.
Massachusetts.
Go Rams.
Yeah, exactly. So I was I was applying for full-time jobs. I was paying for a Cobra plan on my health care. I started working as a roadie. Like I was doing everything. I had 3 part-time jobs. And so I kept applying for all these jobs at AAF that were full-time, and I wasn't getting them. And I was like, you know what? Opie and Anthony, they were looking for a producer. And all I could think of was, well, Howard Stern has Robin. Like, he's this big, like crass guy. But what balances him is that he's got this woman that keeps his show organized and kind of keeps him in check.
The voice of reason.
Exactly. So I was like, you know what? Opie and Anthony need a female producer. So I said to him, can I apply to be your producer? And they were like, yeah, that would be good. Sorry, my phone's beeping. So they encouraged me to apply. So I had to put a demo together because I had to showcase my production skills. And I didn't have anybody else's voice to use but my own. So I was doing like impressions. Remember that British nanny that shook that little kid?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what was her name?
What was her name?
Wow, that's in the back corner of my head.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. I can't
You're
remember.
not-
her
You
name
little
either.
fucking prick.
You're
So
not finding that.
So I'm doing like British impressions poorly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just put this demo together.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
to apply to be Opie and Anthony's producer. So I went in and interviewed because at this point I had been at the station for over 7
Louise
years.
Woodward.
Yes.
Ah, there we go.
If you Google British Nanny Boston, that's how you.
That's
would
how
get-
it shows
No,
up.
you got to put murder afterwards.
Oh.
I made the mistake of not throwing.
she go to
murder in
jail
there.
for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it got overturned on appeal, and then she got deported.
Oh wow.
Oh, now
Yeah.
she's just in
Just
the
now
UK
she's-
living it up.
I'm
now
a
she's
murderer.
shaking British
February
babies
9th.
now.
I'm the UK OJ. Look at
1997.
me. Hashtag UK OJ.
So I put this demo together, and so they interviewed me. I think partially just because they wanted to just give me the interview because they felt bad.
How
So
old are you at this point?
25.
No shit.
And they basically told me I didn't have the production skills to be the producer that they wanted because whoever produced O&A was going to have to do like commercial production too. It was like a dual job. And they were like, you don't have the production chops. We need somebody that's got experience, whatever.
We're looking for an Eric Nagel. I think that's.
You're not fat enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they were like, so the program director was like, but did you ever think about being a DJ? And at this point, I had a pretty big chip on my
Dave
shoulder.
Douglas at the time.
Yeah.
Yep. Dave fired
And-
me. Yeah.
And I was like, I can't. I've been here almost 8 years. I've applied for every job.
Wait a second. You were at AF for fucking 8 years.
Yeah, I started
that
as,
point?
Yeah, I started as an intern in '91, and
Holy
this is
with Hillman.
no, originally I was interning for the production director Mitch Todd, who works at Sirius XM right now.
No shit.
That's where I started.
Oh, okay.
And then I interned for Bill Whiteman, who's doing afternoons, and
Okay.
Mark Raz, who
Oh, Raz, yeah,
is
yeah.
doing afternoons at a country station in Philly.
No
And he was the AAF music director back then. So I worked my way around the building. I would work for
I didn't
anybody
know
that
you were
needed
there
help.
that long.
Yeah.
By the time I showed up, I showed up in '97. So yeah,
I had already been there for 6 years.
Some people paid their dues.
Oh,
Louise Woodward is now a dance instructor in England. Just
really?
for her.
Just quick
Murder.
quick update.
But you know what? She's paying back.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I'd let her
Paying
teach
back.
my kid.
Big kids, though. Kids she can't pick up.
Or smother and kill.
Yeah. So they were like, you don't have the experience. But then Dave Douglas was like, but have you ever thought about being a DJ? And I was like,
You know what's
That's
weird?
interesting.
You know what's weird though? Being there 8 years, that didn't even cross. That's all I thought about. When I was a kid, I had the boombox behind me, David
Yeah.
Allen Boucher, Boston. Like I'm gonna be that guy someday.
I
My uncles-
always thought I was going to be the producer. I always thought I was going to be the person behind the scenes doing all the logistics work and organizing everything. I never thought I was going to be on the air.
You're like Harrison Ford. He was a carpenter on the set of movies, and then he became an actor. So it's kind. You wanted
No
to be.
shit, really?
You wanted to be in the background.
Yeah,
and
I
you ended
never
up-
imagined being the one. And I laughed at Dave right to his face. And I was like, no, what am I going to do? Go on the air and be like, hi, my name's Carrie and I play music. This is exactly what I said to him.
I'm a girl. Look at me.
And he was like, oh, okay, well, if you change your mind. And I went down the hall and I went into the studio and Opie and Anthony were like, did you get the job? And they knew I wasn't going to get the job. It's their producer. They had a say in who got it.
Wait, this was the night gig at the time?
No, this was being their producer.
Oh, just being their producer. Oh
Yeah.
shit, we're not even at the point where you
No.
get the job. Oh.
So they were like, well, what did you say? And I said, well, he said I don't have the production experience. And then he asked me if I wanted to be a DJ. And Opie goes, what did you say? And I said, no. And Opie goes, are you fucking stupid? It's exactly what he said to me.
Yeah.
And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, Carrie, this is one of the biggest markets in the country and one of the most influential rock stations in the country. There are hundreds of people sending their demos from all around the country trying to get a job at this station.
Yep.
He just almost offered you one on a silver platter and you said no. Turn yourself around, swallow your pride, walk back into his office, tell him you're sorry for being an idiot, and that, yes, whatever he wants you to do, yes. And thank God I listened to him.
No shit.
Thank God I was able to put my ego aside for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I did exactly what he told me to do. And I went down and I was like, listen, I'm sorry. I was just I really wanted this job and I'm sorry that I said no. And you know me, if you ever need anything. And then like 2 weeks later, one of the guys that worked, or if she was a girl, actually, one of the girls that worked on the weekends got fired. And her shift was 6 to 10 on Saturday mornings. So I did that for 8 weeks. And Opie and Anthony were doing a shift on Saturdays from 10 to 3.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Go figure, right? Isn't that fucking crazy?
So I used to be on before them on Saturday mornings.
Oh, no way.
And I would go in my pajamas.
Out in Westboro, Mass. Yeah. That's where I started. So I was out there, and then we moved. I was the first disc jockey on when we
on
moved to
Huntington
Brighton.
Ave?
Yeah.
Or in Brighton.
I'm sorry, Brighton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I forgot about Huntington.
We were on Huntington Ave for like a year and a half.
Holy shit! No, was it there? No, I think it was there. It was Huntington. I don't know. Whatever.
Denny was.
Yeah, because I did the last show.
I
in
remember you
Westboro.
throwing something.
Yeah, we
to me.
trashed the studio.
Yeah.
Me and Ian trashed it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We got
dude.
drunk and destroyed that studio.
I'm going with her memory versus yours.
Yeah, mine's not good.
So then after like 8 weeks of working on the weekends, Opie and Anthony got fired.
So that was the mayor thing.
That was the mayor
So
thing.
the mayor died. Tom
the mayor
Menino.
died, and I was a roadie back then.
And
so,
go figure, they're
Which
correct.
he ended
actually,
up dying.
He did die eventually.
Yeah, but much later.
20 something.
Yeah, much later. I mean, we're all going to die.
Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah. So Dave Douglas called me and said, listen, we had to let Opie and Anthony go. We want to take Rocco, who was doing nights at the time, and put him on in the afternoon. And we're thinking about putting you on at night. And this was my response, because heaven forbid I not be an idiot twice to the boss. I go, are you smoking crack? And he goes, no, and don't ever ask me that again.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, okay. And he was like, can you start tonight? I said, no, I'm in Virginia Beach. And he was like, can you be here tomorrow by 5 o'clock? And I said, yeah.
Yeah.
So I met him in the office at 5 o'clock on April 17th, 1998.
Wow.
He told me that everyone was going to hate me because everybody was pissed that Opie and Anthony got fired.
Of course, yeah.
Told me how he wanted me to handle it. And then he walked me down the hall to the studio, at the end of the hall there, and pushed me in the studio and said, figure it out, kid, and closed the door and left me in there alone.
Wow.
And that was my first show full-time on from 7 to midnight.
Wow.
You must have been.
And I remember
shitting
that Ian
yourself.
Barrett
Yeah.
was in there. Ian's, I'm Facebook friends with him, so it's
Yeah.
just fun. Like, I remember those days. The sock puppet. Like, I remember.
Oh, we got away with stuff that would get us put in prison now.
Right? Like, I remember
Everything
fucking
after-
Green Day coming in, smoking a fucking joint.
yeah.
Carrie. I'm like shitting my pants. Green Day's here. This is out of Westboro. And
this was like...
Trey Cool comes in with a fucking joint, and Bruce Mittman was right next to me.
Yeah, the
and he
GM.
goes, hey, Trey Cool is asking me, little Denny Dots from fucking
Tom
Cruise, if I want to smoke a joint. And Mittman's right there, and I'm like, I can't.
in front of the
And
big boss
knowing
man.
that 20 years later, I go, I could have smoked a fucking joint with. But man, I mean, right?
We got away with crazy stuff back then.
So you never wanted to be a DJ.
No.
Now you are.
Yeah.
Right? So now here's where I think that I always wanted to. Like what I'm doing right now, I love. Like I love talking to people.
Yeah,
I
and
love
the internet gives you this freedom to be able to do whatever you want.
Isn't it fucking great?
Yeah, it's
Like,
awesome.
We don't make money at this, but this is so much fucking fun to me. But you do
You're
it as
shocked
a
to
job.
hear that, right?
So
we don't make any money.
I know, right?
Do you hear that, prospective sponsors?
So tell us a little bit about it. I remember when I first started, it was fuck you, you suck, you fucking suck, man.
I heard that for a while.
Right?
Yeah,
And
and I
then,
think
Especially
that's-
your situation.
Yeah, because I was the only girl at the time.
What was the approach to handle that?
They just were like, just be yourself and
Yep.
don't take any shit and just do your thing. Because I didn't get them fired.
No, but it doesn't matter.
And
Well,
I
you
didn't
didn't-
even take their job.
I was
Yeah.
going to say,
Rocco did.
well, he got a lot of. I remember.
He got
I
a
remember
lot of
them
crap.
going back and forth because they.
Yeah.
Technically, if you listen to Opie and Anthony, you know their story.
Yeah.
They had a gig already.
Yeah.
The joke-
Unofficially, yeah.
Well,
they
technically
failed up.
Well, they
They
say,
became millionaires by
No
getting
shit.
fired.
but didn't they say that
They
already
said
had,
that they were
had
unofficially talking, and they knew that they
they
were gonna
needed
get
some
an
way to
offer.
get fired, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so
That's
funny.
what they say,
Yeah.
but, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes they may just make it sound better than it actually is, but
Yeah.
Well, it was weeks after. I mean, it took 2.5 weeks for them to get fired. So they had plenty of time
Yeah.
where they knew. And they were so successful that they were getting offers all the time.
Oh my god.
and they signed that. From what I hear, it was like a $30 million total deal for NEW, 15 each.
Yeah.
crazy.
And then when
That's
they got
fucking
fired
amazing.
from there, they got
Crazy.
paid to not work.
Yep, for like 2 or 3
Oh,
years.
that's right.
Yeah, because
That
Anthony
the
was
Sex
like
for
living.
Sam? Sex for
Yeah.
Sam? No, I'm sorry. In the church?
Yeah.
Fucking in the church,
And
right?
Yeah.
2001.
Yeah.
And Anthony was getting
two.
paid to live in the Bahamas.
Oh my god.
For like 2.5 years, he lived in the Bahamas.
By the way, Anthony, honestly, the little time I spent with him is the funniest fucking guy on the planet.
Ever.
All
Yeah, he's hilarious.
We were at Ozone's house, and I just sat there and just wanted to be. I just want to stare at him and listen to him. I was so fucking high. We went to Ozone's party, and Anthony's there.
Do you
and he's-
notice that there's this whole theme about I was so high? Like
I know,
every
I know.
story is like I was so high.
I wish I wasn't, because I had no idea that I was in the company of somebody who would rise to what they have now. Not that that matters, but it's funny. It's like, I just wish I wasn't as high.
His
and interacted
brain
more.
is on a whole other
It
level.
really is,
Yeah,
man.
he's so creative and he's so quick and he's so funny.
But so aren't you. Like when I've been doing
No, not
research.
like
no.
Anthony.
But we're going to talk about this too, and not to switch subjects, but I find it fascinating. One of the things that scared me a lot about radio, not scared me, was I love this. I love the fact that I can talk into a mic and there's really no response, but I think what I'm saying is,
The most
good.
important thing ever.
Right.
But when somebody comes in the studio and I have to interview them, that's one of my first questions for you is the interview process. How much research do you do? Corey Taylor, like I've watched your interviews. Corey Taylor, I'm like, man, she's fucking good.
Well,
and I
it
see you got
depends on
little
who
notes.
it
You got
is.
some notes.
Yeah.
But like, were you intimidated when Kid Rock first came around? Were you like James Hetfield? Like that was one of the, honestly, everybody, if you're listening, check out Mistress Carrie, James Hetfield. It just happened. I think it was just after
when they were at Gillette, that one.
Chris Cornell died. Was it?
Yeah.
You had talked to him.
Yeah, I was backstage at the Metallica show.
Check that out on YouTube, folks. Mistress Carrie's interview with James Hetfield is fucking amazing.
Oh, thanks.
But so my question to you is, so like tonight, I have a bunch of research. I know you're my friend.
Yeah, I've known you a long
so
time.
this is very easy to kind of
Yeah.
talk. But when there's somebody that you know forever, like James Hetfield or Kid Rock or this or that, like how much do you have ready? Like
I
like-
find it harder to interview somebody that I know because I'm privy to information that they may not want to talk about. Whereas if you're talking to somebody that you've never met before, I don't know that they're going through a divorce, or I don't know that their kid is having trouble in school, or you know what I mean? So now it's just a professional thing. But like Kid Rock, Corey Taylor, like all those guys came up at the same time that I did. Sully from Godsmack.
yeah, I remember you interviewing fucking Slipknot when they first came to Loco Bazooka.
Yeah, that was
and they
in
were
like
maniacs.
99. It was crazy. They were sticking their fingers in my eyes and my ears and in my pants.
But well, to them, they were a band that was breaking. They could have.
Yeah.
Well, think about music. Everybody think about music. If you love music, there's a fucking gazillion bands that did not make it.
Yeah.
That's something I want to talk about too, is local bands and how you sort of filter through them. But these guys are trying to impress you to get their music played, right? Because it's their
Well,
first record.
we were already playing it, and there's a certain amount. I mean, Slipknot's a weird example anyway, because those guys are batshit crazy.
Fucking bananas, right?
And I don't think they ever really thought they were going to break on radio the way that they did.
Go figure, right?
They were just this band
That's like
that was like
testament in those
controlled
bands of the 80s.
chaos,
Right? That should not have made it.
But like Kid Rock, Godsmack, like bands like that, they were these new bands, and I was this new DJ. I didn't even know if this was going to be a career that stuck around. I kept waiting to go into work one day and have them go, "Yeah, it didn't work. Thanks for trying."
Right. Well, think
So
about it this
I
way.
just
So
didn't
So if our listeners know Godsmack, so Godsmack was a band based within essentially the Boston area.
Yeah,
a little
north
bit,
of Boston,
sort of
yeah.
Methuen, sort of that sort of thing. And Stained was sort of Western Mass, and that's around the time that I started. So I
Yeah.
remember when their EP came out, I was fucking blown away. I was like, this is amazing. And Rocco, technically, kind of got them.
he pulled
God
the
rest his
CD
soul,
out
Rocco.
of a bin of local bands,
Right?
and listened to it and started playing it, and they sold like 25,000 copies of their demo CD before they got a record deal. And it was from Airplay. And
Yep.
that was like in the old days, the organic ways of a band breaking, which is totally different now. With
Well, there's my
stuff.
next question.
Yeah.
So what I remember, I've been out of radio since 2008. Next week will be 9 years.
Wow.
So sad. I miss it. But this is my outlet.
It sounds like he's in therapy.
I
doesn't
know,
it?
I know. I've
But this is
accepted-
my outlet, and I'm fine.
I've accepted
I'm
it.
okay. So I remember I used to be invited to a few. So Mistress Carrie is the music director at WAAF 107.3. Check her out online. Side Piece podcast, all that sort of stuff. I remember we would go to the music meetings. Is that
Yeah.
what it was? Thursdays. Remember Thursday? We would
We'd
sit
bring
down.
in food, and we had a gong in there. It was crazy.
Right. So what I'm explaining is, so if you're a band right now and you want to get, back then, you would send your cassette, or your CD to the radio station. You'd send them all to the format that your music was, and you would hope somebody would fucking get back to you and say, "Hey, we're going to put you in the rotation."
Yeah.
Right. Which means play your song. So I remember going to these meetings, and it was like live or die, live or die. In
Yeah,
other words,
we
like,
would just
he would literally
listen
go
to
like this.
stuff.
He'd go, I think it was somebody, or Keith was after Keith.
Yeah.
Keith. I remember like up, down, up, down. I'm
Yeah,
like,
and
"That's
it would go in
amazing."
one bin or it would go in a pile. And the pile, you might never be seen again, but it wasn't bad enough that you ended up in the trash.
Right, right.
So you
And-
didn't just rely on research?
No,
Is
we
that-
would listen to stuff and be like, "Do you like it? Do you like
No
it?"
shit.
It's You know what's amazing about that is think about it. And she's still doing it to this day. They can make or break. They can make somebody who becomes a fucking huge success, like Godsmack or Stained, or they go back to regular life. And everybody wants
It's not
to
as
fucking-
easy now, though. The business is so much different
Well,
now.
there's my next question.
Yeah.
So, do those meetings still exist?
Yeah, we
how does it
still
work
have
now?
'em.
Everything's emailed to you, I'm assuming. Or,
Yeah,
or
we
fucking,
get- It's all downloads now and
Yeah.
whatever, but we still have the music meetings. We still do the research and all that stuff. But, we were in a renaissance of rock music back then in the late 90s, early
Wasn't it
2000s.
amazing?
There was a lot of great music coming out. And we can look back at it now. Like, I remember at the end of the 80s, after big, massive albums like Slippery When Wet and Hysteria and all that stuff,
So good.
going,
Oh, hold on. Pause. I went to L.A. after meeting Jimmy Rock from WAAF, my old buddy. I visited him. I go to LAX, ran into Phil Collin from Def Leppard. I was so shaking and gay, like a fucking 15-year-old, because Hysteria to me was everything.
yeah.
I saw Phil Collin, and he was just hanging out. I go, it's fucking
And
Phil
he's
Collin.
British, so he's nice.
Dude, I went over, and I'm like, hey, man.
You weren't that guy. Like, remember that time you released
No.
Hysteria?
Oh,
that
I'm
was
sure he
awesome.
was. I'm
Nope.
sure he was.
Nope. Little guy right here. Little guy goes, hey, Phil. How's it going? Hey, I'm sorry. I don't want to bother you. I was literally
You
like,
already have.
Can I smell your neck?
I love your fucking music. Thank you so much. He literally just goes, no, yeah. And I go, you mind if I do a selfie? I was literally shaking. Because that album to me, fucking Pyromania, I was blown away. Shit my pants.
Yeah, it's a huge record.
But
I think it
If
sold
someone
like
put a mic
16 million copies.
if someone put a mic in front of me at LAX and said, interview him, I would have shit my pants. What I'm getting at is how you do it. Like that, man. It's fucking hard, dude.
It's hard.
It's intimidating.
But what you figure out is that they're a person too.
No, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
get past that whole, listen, if Paul McCartney walked in here right now, I would be that Chris Farley skit where I was like, remember you were in the
Yeah.
Beatles? That
Kate-
was awesome.
Katie wouldn't let him in. Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Who's
You're not
this
calling me
old
my
creepy
kids.
guy that talks funny?
Honest
to
to
have a
God,
Corey
I
check.
honestly think if Paul McCartney came, knocked on the door,
I'd be
She'd
shocked.
go-
I'll be honest. I'd be shocked.
oh, that's good to know.
What do you mean? He's not in the basement?
Yeah.
I think he lives in
But
this
even
neighborhood.
like Dave Grohl nerds out because it's Paul McCartney.
That was one of your first interviews, wasn't it? I think was it you or I forget. Oh, Mike Bridger 40 or one of them.
Yeah, it
Oh, I
wasn't-
miss Mike too. That's another name. Oh my god.
I see Mike every now and again
My
because he's
old
still
buddies.
at the station. But
Where is he?
he works in the overnights and on the weekends.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Well,
Someone
Sirius
doesn't
XM.
listen
Who do you
anymore.
think pulls all that audio for Hillman every day? Mike Branchiforti, like, he does all that work in the overnights for Hillman.
Tell
yeah.
Mike I love him. I
will.
really do. He's God damn it. He's a great
Yeah.
fucking guy.
And Mike Shue sees him every morning.
No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And both of them are probably super high.
Oh yeah. Oh, we
Like,
see
you
it
know,
all the time.
they're probably trading the good stuff.
Oh my god. It's legal now, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
In certain quantities.
Oh right.
Yeah,
of
you
course.
can't have too much.
So
So
All
you
right.
you just
have
like,
you ever
when
had?
it-
How about this? You ever have an interview where you go, "They're nothing." I saw. You know what I saw was
What
your.
do you mean they're
No. In
nothing?
other words,
nothing.
no. But they're giving
away
her,
from
no.
me.
They're giving her nothing.
Oh.
So
That's
right now,
hard.
Carrie, you're awesome right now. We're hitting it. This fucking podcast, I'm gonna blink and it's gonna be 2 hours, right?
Right.
This is awesome.
it's
But
really
what if I
hard
go,
when you get yes and no
Carrie-
questions.
Tell me how you started.
You were there.
No, in
That's
other words,
just
you go,
Oh
Well-
God, it was so long ago. I don't even remember.
and then she ends there,
And
right?
that's it.
But,
And that's
but
it.
what I'm saying is, so I saw your interview with, I'm sorry, lead singer of Bush, Gavin.
Gavin
I'd
Rossdale.
fuck him. I'd fuck him in the butt if I had to. If I was forced.
So would I.
He still looks okay.
He's so hot up
he
close.
was like gorgeous.
and you know who?
I'd squeeze his ass
One of the
if I
only
had
people
to.
that was hotter than him in person, Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell dripped and oozed. Whatever
100%.
whatever the it thing is that makes you a star,
so cool.
Chris Cornell had it in spades.
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
nobody, and
Oh,
I was
come on,
sad.
stop
No,
it.
I
You're a
was
handsome guy.
I was in the dumps for 4 or 5
That's a
days.
huge loss.
Actually, I tried to get you on the show, and then actually Ozone said he'd do it, and we
Yeah.
talked about it. I was
Such a huge
literally. I
loss.
needed to talk about like why,
Yeah.
dude. Chester didn't hit me as hard because it was after, and it was almost like Chris stole his thunder, and I'm like,
Well, Chris seemed like the guy that had the most going on.
yeah.
He I had met his wife, and she was wonderful.
Was
and
she- was the second
beautiful.
wife? First wife?
Yes,
The one who was the
second
manager?
wife.
Second wife, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vicky.
Okay, yep.
And she was just wonderful, and they were talking about their kids, and because I learned a long time ago that like if you're going to interview somebody and they're with their spouse, don't be that person that ignores the spouse.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? So I always went out of my way to make sure that the wife or the kids or whoever was always comfortable, because that's got to suck.
Oh, yeah.
To
Well-
get dragged around as Chris Cornell's wife all the time and have people look through you.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that because I remember Ozone doing an interview with, I think it was one of the guys from AC/DC, and he said, "Hey, how's Malcolm and other people doing?" And they really appreciated that. Like, in other words,
Yeah.
he talked about the other members of the band, and they really said, "Hey, thank you." In other words, it's not just you.
Yeah.
There's other people in this fucking band that makes money.
Yeah,
therefore,
that make this thing work.
Right.
Even if you can't name them, they're important to me, and you're not asking me about them.
Here's another question. So you could have people. I'm sorry, you didn't answer any mutes that you remember, like people that were like, "Oh, this
No,
is a
it's-
fucking nightmare."
It doesn't happen often. There have been assholes, but
Oh,
not
really?
mutes.
Really?
Yeah,
Because they're
Only
all.
two.
If they got to that point, they have a personality, of course.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I mean. That like
Yeah.
in order to get up on stage in front of 30,000 people
Yeah.
every night for a living.
Yeah. Who's the biggest asshole?
Unless not having an outgoing personality would probably not happen. But
And usually they don't send that member of the band to do the interviews.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, we're gonna send the bassist.
or they're
Yeah.
just in a really pissy mood and they take it out on you.
Yeah.
Has that
I
ever
picture-
happened?
Well,
to-
they've come into the studio like really hungover. Like the guys
Oh,
from
yeah,
Jet
yeah.
showed up.
Jet, I remember that.
And they hadn't slept in like 3 days and showed up in their sweatpants and they stunk
Oh, really?
because they had just been on a bender. Like they looked like they crawled out of a rock.
You know what you need is Striper to come in. They're guys. They're Catholic. They don't like booze. You know what? Listen, Mistress Carrie, we're gonna go ahead and kneel down and have a prayer
Yes.
right now. Remember that? What was
That's what I
hell,
need.
To hell with the devil? Is that what it was? To hell with
Get
the
all my yellow and black striped clothes on.
What's your favorite 80s band? I remember seeing your high school
Bon
picture,
Jovi.
by the way. You got that big hair.
Bon
I
Jovi.
love it.
And he's one of the only rock stars that I have not met. And I lusted after him.
I did too.
Like,
Slippery when wet. That's how I
I'm
was in my
shocked-
downstairs.
I used to fantasize when I was 16 that his tour bus would get lost on my street.
Okay.
And that he would have to come to my house to get
That
directions.
is like a cheesy sitcom.
Yeah, of course it
premise.
is. Or it's the start of a porn. And I lived at the end of a cul-de-sac in Leominster. Like, what the hell would Bon Jovi be doing there?
Yeah. No, I can picture it. Hold on. They pull over. We're fucking fucking lost.
Yeah, we're not going to send the tour manager out to get directions. We're going to send the hot ass
Here,
lead
yeah,
singer.
yeah. Go knock
Go
on that
knock
door.
on that door.
Yeah, he gets
Because
out-
there's a horny 16-year-old in there.
He gets out, he stretches. I wish we had Waze.
Yeah.
And
Waze.
The guy goes, what? He goes, no worry, that's the future. Is there any beautiful chicks around here I can
Any
fuck?
underage girls with giant hair that would
Anybody?
be willing to make me a sandwich?
I don't think he'd get the sentence out
But
before he
don't-
was having
No.
intercourse.
Don't you think the 80s? I remember thinking, Carrie, in the 80s. I was born in 1975.
Now you
so,
got me playing Striper.
So 80, I was 10 and 85. 19 when I was fucking 12 when Look What the Cat Dragged In, Poison,
Ah.
when
One
fucking
of my
Slippery
first
When Wet,
tapes.
these things shaped my mind. Eddie
Yeah.
Van Halen, a good example is, I talked about Paul Marshall, about Eddie Van Halen versus David Lee Roth versus Sammy Hagar.
yeah.
And
It's two totally different bands.
OU 812 and 5150 for me were fucking everything.
Yeah.
I remember my older brother's friends cranking the tape, 5150, playing it, and that seared into my head.
See, I remember 1984
Right?
because that was the year Pyromania came out. I was in the sixth grade.
so good.
And it was like, I had the T-shirts, and it was so rebellious because there was a baby on the cover with a cigarette, and it was like,
Yeah.
ooh.
That kid definitely
Right?
has lung cancer. By
Oh,
now.
absolutely.
Did you?
And is probably in prison.
So I remember kids wearing, it's funny, Metallica didn't hit me until I was probably a little bit later in college. But there was kids in our high school that would wear the jean jacket
Yeah,
with the
the
fucking
patches and the ripped
all that
jeans.
shit. But I wasn't that guy. But I certainly
I
had
dated
a-
that guy.
I had
Oh, yeah?
a white
Yeah.
white snake patch I put on my jean jacket.
No, you didn't.
I
Did you
swear
really?
to
Let me
God.
tell you what, David
Bill still
Coverdale
makes fun of me for that.
David Coverdale has got game.
Really?
That guy
He's
is
got a huge pecker, right?
I don't
Is
know
the
if he
one?
has a huge pecker.
I've
but,
heard that.
But he is a Casanova. That guy, you talk to him for 5 minutes and it's like your panties just fly off. He just has this oozing sexuality and this charm. And you're just like, oh my God, you're like 100 and still hot.
Oh, this is recent.
Yeah, I talked to him like a year and a half ago.
Oh, no shit.
And he is just so
Did you interviewed him?
charming and charismatic. Yes.
Tawny
hot.
Katane didn't hold up as well.
All right, we've got a WBV podcast game.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. So, Carrie, I don't know if you've even listened to any of the shows, but what we do is we do games.
Okay.
She wouldn't be
Influenced
here
by
if she
Howard
had.
Stern, influenced by, and I always just do games on, AAF,
Yeah.
but, give away tickets and shit
Oh,
like
God,
that. So
I
this
didn't
one,
study. I'm not prepped. Go ahead.
this one is actually, both of you guys can get in on this one.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I love to play the game.
No.
I bet you do.
No, not that. Something else.
Oh,
Yeah, different one.
no, you gotta kind of tell me.
All right. So this can be generic. Actually, you know what? Let's do a little White Snake. I think whatever he had there was good.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, both of you are in on
He
this
was
one.
so hot. Look at him.
Oh, I'm doing a
By the
mashup
way-
of,
This is like a
of
mashup of
Black Sheep and White
Really?
Snake. Who hasn't done that before?
By the way, who's the guy you didn't?
David Coverdale?
Yeah, is the one you hadn't met?
I
Who's the
haven't
one-
met John Bon Jovi.
I'm sorry, John Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure the
so
restraining
my
order is
John
still
Bon
intact.
Jovi for you is Steven Tyler, and I went to LB's birthday just before I left AAF, probably 2007. Shit faced out of my mind with my wife. I'm in a weird area.
Were you high, too?
I probably was.
Absolutely.
Joe Perry was playing with Tad, and it was LB's
Yes,
birthday.
at the Hard Rock.
Yes,
I was there. Yeah.
Out of my mind, shit faced. Rumor starts going around. Steven Tyler's here.
Oh, boy.
Ready? I've talked about this on the other podcast, Carrie. The lead singer of the cover band,
Oh, boy.
dude.
Draw the line.
He walks up to me and stares at me.
And looks like Steven Tyler.
I go, oh my.
He immediately falls
my
to his
Did you
knees.
stick your tongue down his throat?
My dick went from 6 to fucking noon,
Oh, my God.
and I go, oh my God, it's you. I literally poured my heart out to him.
Oh, I didn't
said
know
it-
you really
Oh, my
spoke.
God.
I told him everything. I was so fucking drunk.
Embarrassing.
I told him
I
everything.
told him everything.
I was like, oh my God, you're the best. And then I realized maybe a few minutes later that it wasn't him. It was just some guy.
But it wasn't even the lead singer of the cover band?
No, it was. It
Oh,
was.
all right,
No,
I was
it
gonna
was.
Yeah, you know that guy
What's his
is
name?
playing Steven Tyler in the Jethro Tull movie.
Oh, really?
So Aerosmith was supposed to charter that plane, and they were told that it was old and their tour manager wouldn't let the band get on it. And so it got leased to Jethro Tull instead.
you-
No, not
No,
not
talking
Jethro Tull.
Allman Brothers?
No,
Leonard
Leonard Skinner. Sorry, excuse
Allman
me.
Brothers.
I was like,
Oh,
Jethro
Leonard
Tull
Skinner.
got in
The
there?
plane
Not
that went
Jethro
down.
Tull. I'm getting my band totally confused. Aerosmith was supposed to charter the Leonard Skinner plane.
Oh, wow.
And their tour manager wouldn't let him get on it. And so they're making a movie about Leonard Skinner. And Joe Perry and Steven Tyler are in the movie because Aerosmith was supposed to charter the plane, and the guy from Draw the Line is supposed to be playing Steven Tyler in the movie.
No
The
way.
guy you poured your soul out to is going to be in the movie
Love it, dude.
playing Steve. That's how much he looks like him.
But the weirdest thing ever is, why did he go up to me? He literally connected eyes with me.
He thought
He
you were
was
Tom
like,
Cruise.
I'm going to totally screw.
He's like, I've seen all your movies, Tom
gonna
Cruise.
fuck Tom
Oh my
Cruise.
God! You have to go back
You're
and
much shorter in person.
and edit the Jethro Tull Leonard Skinner thing. I apologize. I can tell people be like, "What the hell's the matter with her? They're making me drink."
Unedited.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
We're
So
drinking
Leonard
ciders.
Skinner and Jethro Tull are not the same band. Just
All
so
right.
we're clear.
New game called WBV. What the hell's that lyric game?
Oh,
It's a very
God.
simple game. Everybody knows rock and roll. Mistress Carrie has done rock and roll for many
I'm
years
gonna
on the
be
radio.
so bad at this.
No,
How
no,
would
no.
you think I can compete here?
It's no.
I'm
You're,
really bad under pressure.
Both of
I
you-
just mistook Leonard Skinner and Jethro Tull.
it's okay. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sing
Oh my
2 or
God.
3 lines, and the third line is what you have to guess. The third line, unfortunately, is something this guy made up.
No way.
So
You're going to notice a pattern
Oh my
here,
God.
but
WBV,
I
what
won't
the
tell
hell's
you.
that lyric game? Here we go. Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven. Everybody knows
Yeah.
it. Here we go. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed. With the sword, he committed seppuku, hovering in Jupiter. What's that third line?
wait a second.
When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed. With a sword, he commits seppuku, hovering in Jupiter. Is that the third
I
line?
don't think I understand this game.
No, well, first of all, it's seppuku.
Oh, that's right. It is seppuku.
With a word, she can get what she came for.
Boom.
Oh, I'm supposed to know the line?
No,
Yeah.
you lost.
I know.
You
I
just
did.
lost to
Yeah,
Mistress
you have to
Carrie.
know the real line.
How do you
and
feel
not the
about-
stupid line that he made up?
How you feel about that, Tronzoni? One
Not
pony.
good. Not good.
You're a bro. You like ponies, right? You like My Little Ponies?
I do.
You're a big fan.
I'm a
of that.
brony.
Here we go. Next one. These are very common songs, so you all
Okay.
should know it. Here we go. Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. Mm-hmm. Right there. We get the poster. Those guys were fucked up as hell back then. Actually, I went to the Rainbow Room. Jimmy Rock took me to the Rainbow Room.
One
Straight
of the
ahead.
guys is missing out of that picture. Where's Izzy in that picture?
Oh, yeah. No Izzy. That's an early one.
It's like he got cropped out.
Look at that one over there to the left, the black and white one. That guy's gorgeous, huh? In college. And then you can look at the Rolling Stones thing to the
Why
left.
doesn't
there.
Mick Jagger have a shirt on? That's just weird. All right, go ahead.
Welcome to the jungle. Here we go. Welcome to the jungle.
Oh, he's doing the serpentine dance. It's awkward.
Oh, actually, this feeds into it. Welcome to the jungle. We take it day by day. If you want it, you're gonna bleed, but it's the price you pay. Pay.
Did you skip a line?
And you're a very sexy girl, very hard to please. You can drink my Bud Lights, but you won't get my midget porn for free.
That is not the lyric.
Okay, good. Now tell me what it is. I'll sing it again.
You
Welcome
can
to
taste the bright
ju-
lights, but you won't get them for free.
Boom. I think you both got it.
No,
Ayo.
I piggybacked on that.
Third one, Stone Temple Pilots, God rest his soul. Made me very sad, actually. Why do I get depressed when fucking rock stars died? Because they were such an integral part of my life, man.
Remember when you asked me who the biggest assholes were? Scott Weiland.
Oh, really?
One of the two, yeah.
He's probably
I'm not
jonesing.
trying to like trample on his grave.
No.
Because I said this before he died.
Yeah.
He was
No,
a
no.
jerk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did get a picture with him. I was so happy to meet him.
Yeah, I got a picture with him too when he came up and played acoustic on Ozone Show.
He was downstairs smoking butts. Remember the garage where Rocco got caught fucking... Yeah. Remember that?
Wasn't it a blowjob? I thought he got caught getting
Whatever
a
it was.
blowjob.
He was
The
down...
security guards were like, "We got the footage. You want to see it?" I was like, "No."
Oh, that's
I do
funny.
not want to watch Rocco getting a blowjob on grainy security footage or any other footage.
God, suck it.
I wanted it.
Yeah.
I wanted it in 4K high def.
Try to get your balls in my mouth,
Can
too.
I get it in surround sound? I want all the speakers.
So I'm downstairs, Scott Weiland smoking a butt. He's talking to a couple chicks, and I'm like, literally, like a stalker, just going,
You're like, I
Just-
smoke too.
I smoked. Look at me. I'm
at
over
me.
here. I'm a guy.
Did
I'm
he
probably-
look at you? Did he make eye contact like that guy from Draw the Line? Did you tell him your whole life story and all your secrets?
But that would have been the real guy at that point. I'd be like, Scott, listen.
I love you, man.
Masturbate with my left hand. I do wild shit. I stuck a dead turkey up my ass.
How famous
And
were
he goes,
they at that point?
He goes, hey, I'm Scott Weiland's bodyguard. Why are you telling me this?
Yeah, I don't need to know this stuff, weirdo.
Fucking idiot. Stone Temple Pilots Plus. Here we go. And I feel so much depends on the weather. So is it raining in your bedroom? And I see this guy who sharked all over priceless art display. He had shit all over. Remember that kid that actually cut the art display? And it was like $1 million picture.
I don't.
That's how they robbed the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. They cut the pictures out of the
They
frames.
slit them. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Rolled them up like a poster.
Yeah, they still
Still
haven't found
unsolved.
him yet.
That's like the what's it called? Zodiac Killer unsolved. I love unsolved shit.
Yeah.
Man. Oh,
Are you
my
at
God.
home on Friday nights watching Dateline with Hillman? That's what he does.
I do love
I do
Dateline.
like Dateline. I haven't seen it in a while. I do like it, but my Friday nights are here in podcast.
Yeah, in
because
the
I'm
basement.
fucking.
Well,
I'm rock and roll.
Once every we do a quarterly podcast.
No,
we try to get one show in every 3 months.
we
No, I'm
bang
just
out a
kidding.
bunch. All right, so let's do it again. And I feel so much depends on the weather. So it's raining in your bedroom, and I see this guy who shart all over this priceless art display. What's that
God.
line?
Oh, shit. How many times have I listened to this song? About
I know.
10,000.
That's what I mean. I fucking love that song. His acoustic version.
version.
And I feel so much depends on the weather. I'm not a singer, man.
Oh yes,
But
you
you're
are.
trying.
Don't
do you do
dare.
karaoke?
No.
Right?
Absolutely
I always say
not.
I can talk on radio, but
No.
I can't.
Tequila
fucking
says
sing.
I can do karaoke.
I can do Johnny Cash though.
I don't listen to the tequila when it says I can sing.
You think you can do Johnny Cash?
Tequila talks to you.
Yes. It
You
makes
do the
me want
weed?
to commit
You smoke the
crimes.
weed at all?
No, I just
You're not
wanna
a weed.
I want to lay on the couch and eat Funyuns. I
Yeah?
have no fun when I'm high. Tequila?
What's your favorite high?
Tequila.
Seriously?
Oh, I'm the life of the party on tequila.
How much do you drink?
Not a lot. It only takes me a few shots, and I want to commit crimes. And
You get
and
blackout?
naked.
You must get blackout.
No.
Hold
I
on,
just-
someone get the tequila. Go ahead, Tony. Get upstairs.
Wait,
She's
hold
getting
on.
naked.
Hold on.
And I see.
I think you skipped a few lines here.
No, I did.
Oh,
I wanted to make it
That's
hard.
why it's screwing me up,
Yeah.
because it's out of sequence.
and no one shot on a painting.
These are very popular songs.
Did we miss it?
No, it already went by, I thought, right? It's the line
right,
with the
that's
leaves
okay.
and the color, right?
Yeah.
And I feel so much depends on the weather. So it's raining in your bedroom, and I see these guys who shart all over the price.
That's not the lyric.
And I see these are the eyes of disarray. You
Oh, that's the second
motherfuckers.
verse.
You
Yeah, that's the second
motherfuckers couldn't
verse.
figure it out. That's okay. You know what? You lost.
Yeah, I
and
did
that's
lose.
okay. Let's go on to the next one. Jimi
All right.
Hendrix. We all know Jimmy. What's unique about Jimi Hendrix? Come on, Mistress Carrie. You know that.
That he played his guitar upside down.
Lefty?
Exactly.
Or
Because
that he
didn't
was
have the money.
self-taught.
He didn't have the money.
Did
to
you
buy.
see that documentary, Supermensch?
I started to watch
Oh, my
that.
God. You
Wait.
have to watch it.
About Jimmy? Wait.
No,
it's about
his agent, right?
the manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no way.
And
He's
he
been-
became an agent because he was in a hotel in Los Angeles and he heard a woman being raped. So he went outside of the room in the in the 60s to stop this woman from being raped, and it was Janis Joplin just having sex.
No
And they got
way.
mad
Are
at
you
her.
serious?
Yeah. So the next day he went and apologized to her, and she introduced him to Jimi Hendrix, who was also staying at that hotel. And Jimi Hendrix said to him, "What do you do?" And he's like, "I don't know. I just came out to LA, blah, 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 whatever." And he said, "Are you Jewish?" And he said, "Yeah." And he said, "You should be a manager." And he said, "Okay." And Jimi Hendrix said, "I know someone that needs a manager," and introduced him to Alice Cooper. And that's how this guy became a manager. He's still Alice Cooper's manager to this day. You've got to watch this documentary.
I would have said
What's it called again?
Supermensch. I can't remember the
Supermensch?
guy's name off the top of my head. You have to Google it. But,
I know
but the
mensch.
documentary is Supermensch.
Mark Norman always says you're a mensch. A mensch is a
It's a
good
Jewish-
term.
Yeah.
Is it a Jewish term
Yeah.
for you're a good guy? Like
Yes.
salt of the earth
yeah,
type?
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
exactly.
Shep Gordon.
Yeah, Shep Gordon, who's one of the
Oh,
most
I did-
famous music managers in the music business.
I
This
did.
documentary is fantastic.
Well, the other
And
one-
everybody's in it.
What's the
Al
other one?
Pacino.
You're thinking of the Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre one
Jimmy
was
Iovine one.
yeah.
unbelievable.
That was great.
Fucking amazing.
Yes, that's a 4-parter.
Yes.
He
The,
starts. He goes, kind of like me. Hey, I love how I'm trying to work me in.
Watch, you'll notice. Jimmy
Defiant
Jimmy
ones, it's called.
Iovine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jimmy Iovine and Denny Doherty right here.
Yeah.
Listen.
Well, it's kind of the same thing.
both-
Yeah.
Well, his first thing was, hey, Jimmy, we want you to work on Easter. And most people would say, fuck you. I worked every fucking holiday for 9 years.
And you never
And-
got to record
And
John Lennon.
a Beatle never came in.
See, maybe Paul McCartney will show up in the basement because you worked
No.
on Easter.
Well, that's where the story goes. So people
Yeah.
that haven't seen it is he worked on on Easter, and it was John Lennon recording one of his albums.
know.
One of Soul
It was
Soul
the
Crazy.
Imagine
Could
recordings,
you
wasn't it?
Could you? I'm not sure which one.
I think it was. I don't remember.
Could you
but-
imagine that?
No, because they're my favorite band, the
Oh.
Beatles.
Oh, really?
Absolutely, yeah.
Over
Favorite
Bon
band.
Jovi?
Yes. Yes, modern rock and roll would not be modern rock and roll if not for the Beatles.
Well, that's a foundation. Well, you've
Yeah.
got the Beatles. Let's do this. You got the Beatles, and then
Yeah.
you've got the best fucking rock and roll band on the planet.
Yeah, see, I would disagree. I'm
Rolling
not a
Stones?
Stones fan the way. I like the
Oh.
Stones, don't get me wrong. Sympathy for the Devil is my favorite
Unbelievable.
Stones song.
So good.
But I would say that I liked like Led Zeppelin better than the Stones.
What about Third Eye Blind? They're right there with the Beatles.
Ooh, now you're talking.
Right? Right? How about who's that shitty?
Are you going to just pile on Nickelback now?
Oh,
I actually, it's funny.
I liked some of Nickelback's music.
I
And
met-
Dimebag Darrell was really good friends with those guys. And if Dimebag Darrell can be friends with Nickelback, who are you to say they're not cool?
Well,
No,
they've
I hear
all
you.
of a sudden, over the past 2 years, become the butt of every,
Every
joke.
joke, yeah.
You know what I
don't
hate?
know-
I fucking hate that Limp Bizkit has become that too.
I know.
I loved Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, I did too. It was that whole era when I came up on the air. It was like,
Do you remember Limp Bizkit? It was at the Songus Arena. It was Limp Bizkit, Korn, and I think was it Kid Rock? I think Kid Rock opened. It was amazing. Whatever
Oh,
it was,
yeah.
one of the best shows fucking ever. Like blew me away. What I'll do is I watch a couple shows on YouTube. I'll pull up the Woodstock '99.
oh,
of
I was
Limp-
there. I was there.
Were you fucking
yes,
really?
I was at Woodstock 94 too.
Did you see Limp Bizkit?
Yes, I was in the crowd.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah. We
I-
actually broke the story about the riots in 99.
Remember that?
Because
Yeah.
MTV and everybody had unplugged their broadcast and we were still there.
Really?
Yeah. Ooh, you got to do the dance.
Remember that, dude?
Yeah, the
When
rolling
this
dance.
album-
Remember? So he got a piece of wood. Remember?
I have a piece of the wall
Get the
still.
fuck outta
Yeah, I
here.
saved it.
Really? So how? So
Godsmack played that. Kid Rock played it. Korn played it. It was
Unbelievable.
crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it
Like-
was hot. It was on an Air Force base. There was no shade. They were charging like $10 for a bottle
Wait,
of water.
Hold on. I'm thinking that Mistress Carrie has some rock stars in her phone. Maybe we could call up
Yeah,
and get on
that's
the.
not happening. That is so not happening. No.
Hey.
Nope.
Hey, Jerry. So Jerry Cantrell. Ozone goes, hey, go downstairs, and Jerry Cantrell, who's the guitarist from Alice in Chains, he goes, Tom Cruise, you got to meet him down. I was all hungover and shit.
Were you high?
You high?
I was high.
I was so high.
And he came up, and I go, hey, Jerry, I love you, man. I love you.
That's a good thing to say.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Remember
all
that
over.
time you were in Alice in Chains? That was awesome.
You're fucking awesome, dude. But no, when he goes, I said, hey, man, can I take a picture? He goes, hey, can you wait until after the interview? I go,
You're like, what are you, an asshole?
I'm going to your show. I paid money for. Oh,
No, you did not say that.
I 100% talk.
Wait a second. I was kidding. You really did?
I talked back to him. I said, hey, man, I got to leave because I'm going to your show. And there's a certain point we had a limo, blah, blah, blah. So I literally defied him. We got
Pushy
the
little
picture.
shit.
Best part is we get the picture, and there were you remember like the disposable phones? I'm sorry, disposable
cameras.
cameras.
Oh,
Yeah.
the other ones they used to put on the tables at wedding receptions?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I
Cheap
took
pricks.
it. I gave it to the place to develop the film.
And they
Yep.
trashed the film, didn't they? Those
it
prick
got opened.
bastards.
It got like fucked up.
Exposed.
So it got So I had to pay for it to be digitally fixed. But that was Jerry Cantrell's way of going, "Fuck you." you
No,
know?
I was
Yep.
hoping that when you realized he took the picture, he had his finger up or something.
Yeah. No,
I
he
can't
went.
believe you talked back.
Yeah,
You little
I was
shit.
fresh. He goes,
You getting fresh over there?
You're a little tiny guy. It's gonna have a podcast at some
You getting
point, right?
fresh?
You're a little guy. You're like Napoleon, right? You're kind of like
He's tall too, right?
He's
Isn't he a
pretty
tall guy?
He's not a short guy. He's
for
like an
some reason,
average
I feel
height
like-
guy, but
Yeah,
most
okay.
rock stars are short.
But
Yeah.
so fucking cool. So
yeah.
cool. All right,
He's a big fantasy football guy.
Let's get back
Oh,
to the
no shit.
game.
Yeah.
WBV. What the hell is that lyric? Here we go. Two more.
I can't
Jimi
believe I got
Hendrix.
stuck on Stone Temple
Purple
Pilots. Okay.
Haze. Purple haze. Here we go. Purple haze all around. Don't know if I'm coming up or down. Am I happy or in misery? What about that jizz that elk shot all over me?
That is so not the lyric.
So what?
Which
is that?
one's the fake lyric?
Purple haze all around. Don't know if I'm coming up or down. Am I happy or in misery? How about that jizz? How about the jizz that elk shot all
See,
over
it's
me?
out of tempo. It's out of order.
You really crowbarred.
It's like singing the ABC song. Like,
I worked
on
over
the
this
wrong
for a fucking
tempo.
week. I worked really hard on this.
I don't know.
Have you ever had been
the
jizzed
lyric.
on? But I actually,
By
my
an
original
elk?
lyric was an elephant. I was going to say an elephant.
that would be a lot of jizz.
You really
That's
would've
Elephants
fucking
are big.
ton of jizz.
You really would have to squeeze.
Tom
that one
Green
in.
has a movie where he gets cummed on by an elephant. I believe it's the end of
I
Freddie
think it
Got
won an
Fingered.
Oscar in the late 90s.
Nobody wins Oscars for good movies anymore.
All right, how about this? Would you drink a gallon full of elephant jizz
This is
for
not-
$1 million?
You're not going to believe this is probably the 15th time we've discussed elephant cum on this podcast.
Would you do it for $1 million? A full like
A gallon?
yes.
Can I?
Speaking
can I
as
throw
someone
up
who has
halfway through?
consumed
elephant jizz.
not elephant jizz, but I think I'm the only one at the table that's got any level of experience.
This one
maybe.
loves.
I
he
self clean up now.
yeah, yeah.
And a gallon is a lot. You could
It is.
die from that.
Well-
1 million. No. You can do it in 24
You
hours.
can't drink a gallon of milk. It's physically impossible.
yeah,
So
like
how
that's
about,
too much.
How about a half
I'll give you a
gallon?
week. I'll give you a week.
No,
to
no, no,
fucking
no. You just
suck
can't
it down.
do it.
Could you put it in things and like bake it off?
Anything you want. Got to finish
In
it.
a
though.
gallon in a week?
Yes.
Yeah, you could put it in like
Cupcakes.
pasta sauce, cupcakes.
Cupcakes for your kids.
for
How
$1
about
million
this?
bucks.
All right. How about
Yes.
this?
Birthday party.
Well, scratch the gallon. How about this? I've discussed this many times. It's very simple.
Okay.
A chunk of shit or a shot glass of diarrhea. You got to either
This
chew
is-
down the chunk of shit or a shot
Can
glass
you
of
mix
diarrhea.
it with something?
No.
Nope.
No.
No.
I would think the diarrhea, you'd be able to shoot it past your taste buds and get it right down.
You can chase it. So you can chew and
Yeah,
drink.
chewing
or
the
you can-
poop is a whole
it's
other
t-
level.
You got to get it down.
Yeah, you got to get it down.
Have you ever shit your pants or threw up on the air?
No, I am not in the I shit. This is a thing.
We've talked about this with Paul. So
Yeah, no.
very
All of my friends, this is a thing. We call it the I shit my pants club. Now, almost everyone I know is in the I shit my pants
We
club.
want to interview all of your friends.
A lot of them are in the military and have gotten some kind of weird sickness or something overseas or been so
Oh, yeah.
severely dehydrated that they shit my pants.
Well,
they
that's-
don't believe me that I never have shit my pants because they're like, everybody has. And I'm like, not everyone has shit their pants. So I can tell you with all sincerity, I have never shit my pants. And if I did, I would cop to it.
Okay.
But I have not shit my pants
Have
yet.
you ever almost thrown up on the air? Because I think it's the funniest thing if you're live on the air because it's the
I
most
don't
vulnerable.
think so.
Am I right or am I wrong? It's the most vulnerable time. You could have been sick. You could have had pneumonia.
No, I don't vomit a lot. I'm not a vomiter
No.
when I'm sick. No. And I have a really strong stomach.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not a vomiter. I've almost burped a few times. I've definitely sworn by accident.
Oh yeah. So you hit the delay, right?
A couple of times I missed it. These things happen.
Oh yeah.
Early
Yeah.
on in my career.
Yeah, we've missed a few swear
Yeah.
podcasts. So
Last time
not
I
sure.
did it, it was with Joey Kramer from Aerosmith, and I said shit by accident because we were just talking. And I go, "Are you shitting me?" And then I realized it came out.
This girl apparently.
Oh, God, that
On a
was like
TV show.
projectile vomiting.
We're watching somebody throwing up.
Oh,
what is
so
that? A
awful.
It's.
I don't
it
even know
looks
what
overseas.
language that
You
is.
c- But the funny thing is,
It's Kroners, right? Is that the abbreviation for Kroner?
I don't know, but I'm playing the verve in the background
Ugh,
somehow.
so weird.
show? All right, let's finish the game.
All right,
So
read the lyric again.
purple haze all around. Don't know if I'm coming up or down. Am I happy or in misery? I won't say the lyric.
God, the tempo and the
Whatever it is, that girl put a spell
Oh, yeah.
on me.
Oh, yeah,
Bam,
yeah.
bam. No
Duh.
jizz on
no
you.
jizz in that. No. There's
All
no-
right, the last
Hold
one.
on a sec.
Oh, you're gonna listen to the
I just
vomit
want to
now?
hear. I now have the audio.
Hej, vet du?
You can
Niklas?
see her.
Hej Niklas, vad har du för svar till mig?
She's definitely not feeling well.
Oh God, so bad.
She jumps out of the shot.
Yeah, you would too if all that just came.
Oh,
It
no,
looks
I
like
definitely
she
would.
did the shot of diarrhea and then it came back up. So awful.
Oh man,
I'm so
I
bad at
wish it
this
was in
game.
English.
I
wanna
came
know
out of
what
the I came out of the box like fast,
Oh,
and now
you-
I'm
you-
sucking.
You beat me.
All
Is
right,
there
I'm
one
2
more
and 2.
song here?
There's one more. I'm just trying to find the song.
Oh God.
Give me the song.
Sweet Emotion.
Okay.
right,
Of course,
play in the
it's
background.
Aerosmith because
I fucking love Aerosmith.
I know you do more than the Rolling Stones. No.
So I think it's a family thing. I think the family to me was like, beat into me the Stones and Aerosmith. So
Yeah.
Aerosmith, I think for me was because they were local. That was
Yeah.
a big thing. Like, wow, well, kind of. Stephen was Yonkers. Stephen was New York.
Yeah,
kinda.
but it was here.
But his
that it-
presence was, and
Yeah,
then, but they
Comav.
slightly have that Boston accent. When I read their fucking book, man, I'll Walk This Way,
Yeah.
dude. I read incessantly. Like, dude, all I do is read rock books and
Have you read Tommy Lee's book?
Tommyland on my schedule. I've read
Is
Heroin
it Tommy
Diaries.
Land? Is it Tommy Land, the one that quotes his dick? Yeah, you got to read. I think it's Tommy
The
Land. but
Dirt is amazing. The
Yeah,
Dirt, the
it's
book,
amazing.
Fucking amazing.
But Tommy Lee's book tells the story
I think
from
it's Tommy
three
Land.
different sides. His version of the
Stop
story,
it.
the other person's version of the story. So if it's a story about him and Pam Anderson, it's his version. Then Pam Anderson gives her version, and then you get his Dick's version, and they all have their own font. It's hilarious.
Oh, I got to read it.
It's
It's actually on my list. On
Yeah.
my list, dude.
Yeah, it's
Unbelievable.
really good.
I just finished Corey Feldman's book.
What?
I
tore
just
through
love,
that.
I love
That
the
guy.
No, because
he
Friday-
never recovered from Michael
Welcome
Jackson.
back, Voorhees. Voorhees, Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Big piece. He was in Friday the 13th Part 4. So he's the one who kills Jason. So it was very interesting to read about the Goonies, the fucking Friday the 13th, like the behind the scenes shit.
Yeah.
As much as he's a circus now.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, what the fuck, man? This
Well,
guy,
he
was
grew
getting
up
coke.
in Hollywood.
He was getting coke from Sam Kinison.
Yeah.
He was
Like Drew Barrymore has the same kind of
Fucked her.
childhood. Like,
Yeah.
you grow up in Hollywood, your life is not going to be normal.
But
you're being
fun-
treated as an adult at 15
Funny thing is this,
with
right?
unlimited money.
Many years ago, he was cool. Him, Corey Haim, the two Coreys. I go to recently. I went to a conference in Palm Springs, and I'm on the plane, and his book has got his fucking face,
Of course it does.
right on the fucking cover, and I'm like trying to hide it, like I feel embarrassed, but it's
You
you
should
know
have
what I
put
mean?
one of those like shopping bags from the supermarket on the
And
cover,
cover
like
it.
we did, like when we
Yeah.
were kids.
Yeah, right. Put Van Halen
Yeah.
fucking totally all over it.
I used to draw the Queensryche logo.
We should do. I should
Oh.
do Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
Twisted
Yes.
Sister. Well, that's what's on our logo, the Twisted Sister fucking thing.
It is.
Oh yeah, you didn't see it? It's on our whatever. Anyway, all right. So Purple Haze. Where'd I
No,
get that?
last
Sweet
one.
Emotion. Here we go. You got it.
I got it.
Actually, their lyrics are amazing. When some sweet hog mama with a face like a gent said my get up and go must have got up and went. Well, I got good news. She's a real good liar because I lit Webster's face on fire.
Is it? That's
See, his lyrics
Do you
are
love
totally
Webster as much as I do?
Do you have a midget thing? Why do guys
yeah.
have these weird midget things?
Ozone?
Every guy
But
I know.
I always talked about midgets. Always.
I like most of the guys I know, and again, a lot of them are in the military. They want to fuck a midget because they think their dick's gonna look huge in their hand.
a midget
Oh,
chick?
I never
Yes.
thought of that.
They're like, my dick would look so big. I'm like,
know.
that's
That's a good point.
weird.
I'm not sure if I'd fuck a midget.
What's that porn star? Bridget
Bridget the Midget,
I'd fuck
yeah.
her.
No. I certainly would. Believe me. But I don't know. All right. So, because I just lit Webster's face on fire. What's that lyric? What is that lyric, guys and gals?
Because the backstage.
When some sweet hog mama
No,
with
no,
a
no,
face
I-
like a gent said, "Ma get up and go, must have got up and went." Well, I got good news. She's a real good liar.
Because the backstage.
Boom.
I'm missing the word.
Boogie.
We'll set your balls on fire.
Pants on fire. Hi-yo.
Close enough.
Hi-yo.
There you go.
Good job. That was pretty solid. Damn solid. I'm starting to cut out here. That's
Yeah,
not
what's
good.
Yeah,
up
because
with
you're
the-
unplugging your microphone. You got to stop touching it. Leave it alone.
Being a real
That's-
amateur here.
That's what my mom said of my pecker.
I know. That's what most guys never learn. Just
Never.
leave it alone. Stop touching it.
So there's a question right there. You're in an all-guy industry,
Yeah.
right? So Tell me about that dynamic. Tell me a little bit about what it's like to fucking work with guys all the time.
Well, I was the only girl in the neighborhood growing up. So I was always that girl that hung around with all the guys. Like we would play Star Wars and I would be Princess Leia because I was the only one hanging around. And then, I was a roadie. I was the only girl around.
Roadie for what?
I used to build stages and stuff. That's what I was doing when I applied to be Opie and Anthony's producer.
You were?
Yeah, I used to drive trucks and I
So
built
who's the company you worked for?
I used to work for a company called Concert Staging Services, which had an office in Springfield, but they were based out of Little Rock. So I built stages for George Clinton and President Clinton and everybody in between.
No shit, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, George Clinton took my hand and licked it and was like, "I'm just a dog for you, baby." And I was like, should I think this is cool or should I wash my hands?
Kind of creepy.
Like I can't tell which one it is. But I worked for I ran lights for the Ramones.
Really?
Yeah. And
No
it was back in
shit.
the day before we had phone, before we had a camera on us all the time. I sat down for 10 minutes with Joey Ramone and
No
just
shit.
sat there with him and I have nothing to show for it.
Right?
I met the coolest
Well, right now
people.
you're telling 25 people.
25.
But I could just be saying that and
Yeah.
it could be a lie. It really
know.
happened and I have no way because nowadays if you don't have a picture to prove it,
Yeah.
picture it didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Well,
Yep.
well, that's funny you say that because anytime I knew that some rock star was going to be at AAF, I would go
Get one
buy
of
a
those
disposable
disposable camera,
cameras.
yeah.
I would literally buy a disposable camera. I would fucking kill it. After I got the picture of
Yeah,
me and
and
the rock
run
star.
right to CVS and get it developed.
Unbelievable. Like literally.
And then you'd have to wait days
how,
to be able to
how
see.
fucking archaic
And now
is
it's
that?
Seriously, we're like
And-
1,000 years
I
old.
know.
And now it's just one group.
And now you're like,
group of
wait, hold
pictures.
on, I look fat. Can we take another one?
Oh, God, that's me.
No, me and Phil Collin, it was one shot. Def Leppard.
You nailed it.
He said, hello, your name is Denny Dotsey, right? You do WBV podcast.
He knew that?
Yeah.
That's pretty
I was
cool.
like, hey, Phil, that's
Famous.
great.
Word's getting out. Word is getting
See,
out.
I take one selfie with Elizabeth Warren, and everyone wanted to
You
kill
got
me.
in trouble.
Yeah, death threats, rape threats.
Really?
Yeah, it was
well,
bad.
Well, there's a question there. Politics, very divisive.
Yeah.
Like who you like, this and that. You don't touch that shit on the air, do you?
Well, here's the thing. I don't like any of them. And
They're all crooks, right?
Well, it's not that they're all crooks. It's that I don't side with one side or the other because neither side represents me. I'm pro-choice, but I'm pro-gun.
Yeah.
Where the hell do I go?
Yeah.
I'm pro midget.
Yeah, well, I think everybody's
I'm
pro-midget.
so liberal.
So who represents me?
Yeah, I feel
Nobody.
Socially liberal,
Fiscally conservative. There's a lot of
and-
people that
yeah,
way.
no, I am too.
And I'm not really the most religious person.
No.
So I really truly believe in the basic tenets of our government, that religion and our government should be separate.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm to the point where I think they should tax
Churches.
churches, religious institute, like you're telling me that Scientology shouldn't be paying taxes?
Right.
Look at all the land that is taken up by religion in general, of all religions. Why aren't they paying property taxes on those?
Yeah. If the Catholic Church would be the largest real estate owner in the world,
And all the money goes to the Vatican, so it's not staying in the United States.
You know what's funny though is I always go
But
back
that's
to
blasphemous.
But I always go back to just reality. There was Zoroastrianism. There was this religion.
What?
There was Hindu. There's a fucking million religions.
There's
yeah.
2,000. Yeah.
Why is it that Jesus or Buddha or this one is the right one? In the end, come on, people. We just all want to believe that there's some sort of thing in the afterlife.
Is it Ricky Gervais? Yeah, Ricky Gervais said it best. He was on with Stephen Colbert, who's Catholic. And Stephen
He is?
Yes, very devout Catholic.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And they were having a serious conversation about religion, and Ricky Gervais is a very vocal atheist. And he said to Stephen Colbert, there are 2,000 recognized religions in the world. You believe that 1,999 of them are false.
That's what I'm getting at.
I believe one more of them is false than
That's
you.
funny.
We're really not that far apart.
All religion is a comfort. That's all it is
Yeah.
comfort, because nobody honestly knows.
Well, it's a way
what
to
happens when you
explain-
take that dirt nap.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
But it explains the unexplainable, and I am open to the concept
no, I'm 100%.
that there are things that can't be explained.
Hey, I'll pray my ass off. I will fucking pray my ass off to Jesus. But you know what? I'll never fucking kill somebody, make a war because of fucking Allah
Yeah.
and this and that. That's bullshit to me. But it's funny. Religion is just one of those things where when I need it, I use it. Because when my kids are sick, bet your fucking ass,
Yeah.
But when I'm on a podcast, I'll go, it's not fucking real. Fuck
The
that.
problem I have with it is that all the big ones, there's a whole part of all of them that have to control women.
Oh, that's bullshit.
You could
man.
be a Hasidic Jew, and the
Oh,
women
yeah.
have to cover their hair.
Right.
They wear wigs as opposed to veils.
Right.
But they cover their hair. They have to dress modestly. Muslims, the same thing.
Yep.
There's always something about all of the big religions that have to control the women, and they do it under the guise of it's better for the family. It's modesty. It's all of that stuff. But
We were just talking about recently. So who can drive? What, in Afghanistan?
in Saudi Arabia,
Saudi
the
Arabia.
women got the right to drive this week.
Lucky.
The same week that the first woman made it through officer candidate school in the Marine Corps in the United
shit.
States.
How safe is it for a woman to be driving with her face covered? That's what. Where's your peripheral vision? When
Yeah,
you
but
have
how
a
many
burqa
of the husbands are
over
going to
your
go
face?
put on this vest and go fucking blow people up? Now you
No,
can
they don't
drive.
do that in Saudi Arabia. Like really in Saudi Arabia, but like it's bizarre to me that all of these religions are based on controlling women, and I saw it when I was in the Middle East myself. Like,
Well, if to a degree they're all based on controlling everybody through fear, right? So
Yeah,
I mean,
but
like,
especially
the
the
whole
women.
premise is like, especially with Catholicism, is like be a good person or you're gonna go to hell. You know what I like?
yeah,
it's-
I don't need the threat of hell or the
To be a good
promise of
person.
heaven to be a good person.
Yeah,
And
that's-
I got kicked out of CCD because I was raised Catholic. I got kicked out of CCD for asking why I was expected to have the same amount of faith as the guy sitting next to me. He could be the Pope if he wanted to, and all I could be was that old nun mopping the floor.
Oh, right, good
and
point,
I
yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
know why it is that I couldn't
Yeah.
be the Pope if
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted to be the Pope. And they took that as such an insult.
you were getting
You
fresh.
really got kicked out?
Yes, and my parents had to make a donation to the church
Oh,
to
that's
get me
funny.
back in
It's funny that
to
that-
get
how
me
that works.
confirmed.
Did you have purple hair then?
No. And I was like, Mom, I don't want to go back. And
think
she
it
made me get confirmed because she was convinced that if I ever wanted to get married,
You'd have to.
I would have to be confirmed to get married in a church. And I was like, Mom, I'm never going
Go
to
to
marry someone that
pre-Cana.
wants to get married in a church.
Yeah, I got bounced out of CCD too, but it was because I kept showing up late. You had to walk from school to the church.
Can't we just skip to the New Testament? I'm a half
Seriously.
hour late.
My memory of CCD was I was at my aunt's house, my Aunt Carol, and she went somewhere else. And my Uncle John came in, and we all hid from him. So he came over underneath the table where we hid from him, and he farted into the area. So the fucking putrid smell when he went,
I wonder if he's part of the I shit my pants
you
club.
little shits.
This
You
has
little shit.
nothing to do with the Bible.
Well, Carrie needs to know this story. So we're talking to my Uncle John. God rest his soul. He's passed away, but I love my uncle. One time, right, we're playing hide and go seek, and we're at a house. So I hide underneath the what's it called? And you're in the bathroom where you put the toilet paper.
the shitter. Oh,
well,
the
vanity.
The vanity.
It's called
Vanity.
Yeah.
So I'm hiding underneath the vanity. I'm like, these kids are never going to find me. I hear the door close, and
Oh, God.
door closes, and I'm hiding. And then I go, oh, they're never going to find me.
And
they
then
go,
you hear him on the
they
toilet.
go, knock, knock, knock. Is Denny in there? He goes, get the fuck out of here. I sat through my uncle taking a shit.
Don't tell me he jerked off, too.
He did not blast a load. He did
He's
not do
doing
that.
key bumps.
But my biggest fear was the whole time was, what if he runs out of toilet paper? And I just kind of
Oh, and he's going to go.
and I just hand him a roll.
Here you go, Uncle.
It's the same it's a sitcom
So
premise.
twisted.
Oh, it smelled like death.
like Bon
but
Jovi's tour bus.
He never found out. I told him years later.
Why did
but
he never get lost on my cul-de-sac? Seriously.
God rest his soul. But I don't know where the fuck we were. Where were we talking?
We were
Religion.
talking about taxing religion.
Religion.
And
fucking.
politics. So you asked if I get into politics and stuff. So I just advocate on behalf of the things that are important to me. I don't
Right.
think that I'm going to, change the world. I don't want to run for office or whatever, but I can't find one party that represents me. And I think that, so I'm an independent voter. And I think that most people are those independent voters that every election, that are going to determine the election because they don't know what you're going to do until you go into the ballot box.
Yep.
Right.
You know, if I could find somebody that would let me have my guns and keep their hands out of my uterus, I would listen to what they have to say, but that person doesn't exist.
Well, they do, but they can't say that, which I never understood. Right? It's like when Trump was running, he wanted all the Republican votes, so he had to pretend he was the least bit religious.
Yeah.
He's not.
It's like, really? You've had 3 wives.
Yeah, but here's the
and
thing.
cheated
it's like,
on all of them.
It's like, how are you gonna? If you decided to say, "Fuck it, I'm not religious," those people weren't gonna go vote for Hillary. So you might as well stand for what you stand for, but they don't. They play party politics and they stick to this one, mold. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, all we get is those 2 choices. Realistically.
So what I end up doing is, like, if I'm going to vote, I figure out if it's a tiebreaker, which is the most important issue for me.
Yeah.
When it gets to that point, I'm like, all right, what's my deciding issue? And then that's how I pick if it's, the lesser of 2 evils. Right. Or what a lot of people don't know, my sister's an election worker.
Well, there's my next question is, what do your listeners who are listening to this now not know about you? Something they do not know that you haven't shared, or have you shared everything? Like, is there something, not a dark secret or something,
And
but I
you're
mean,
looking
like,
for an exclusive.
You fucking knit? Do you do?
I
She
garden.
skydives. She does all this crazy shit.
I garden, although I put pictures up on my garden and stuff on my Facebook page. I garden. I bake.
What do you bake? Weed brownies with Mike's shoe?
Yeah, no, I could. No, I bake.
What's the best thing you bake? What would blow me away besides
I make
a guy?
really good apple pie.
Well, yeah.
And I make a killer lasagna, and I make really good anise cookies at Christmas.
You put meat in your lasagna?
No,
What?
no, I cook it on the side.
You're Italian, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you got the Italian side.
Yeah, but one of the reasons why I don't is that I jar my
I love
sauce.
how I just said you're Italian, so you got that Italian side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Very
jar
smooth.
my sauce.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Like, I can it, and the process for canning your tomato sauce is different if there's meat in
You
it.
create your own sauce?
Yeah. of
What
course.
the fuck?
I grow the tomatoes.
Well, you grow the
motherfucker.
tomatoes?
Oh, you
Yes.
grow the tomatoes.
And the
That-
basil.
You
and
got a
yes.
fucking garden, kid?
Yeah, it's
If you
22
ever
by
come back-
60.
Wow.
That sounds big.
It's big.
What do you got in there?
Right now, I have tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini, summer squash, pumpkins, watermelon, green
Get the
beans,
fuck
wax
out.
Wow.
beans, sugar snap peas, eggplant,
Dude, you're
Japanese
fucking
eggplant.
Whole Foods. You're fucking Whole Foods.
then I grow
what, you got a
herbs.
compound?
So, yeah.
You David Koresh? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I grow basil, oregano, lemongrass,
Jesus.
chamomile. I don't grow weed.
What the fuck, dude? It's legal.
this is,
Wow.
Lavender, rosemary. Yeah, I
Holy
grow all
shit.
that stuff. Mint. Like, I grow like 3 kinds of
Tony
mint.
grows Rosemary's Baby. It's amazing what he does.
I grow chives.
If you ever come back, you need to bring
That's
some
a lot
of
of
that
fucking
gravy.
shit.
I love it though. I
Wow.
love it. That's what
But
I
that's
do.
a lot of work, dude.
Yeah, but I like the.
There's
You must have an automatic watering system and all that shit, right?
Yeah, the watering system's automatic, but I do the.
No, she goes around with a
weeding.
fucking can.
Dude, I got a rototiller,
You got
man.
like acres? What the fuck do you have?
I live out in the boonies. I don't want to be around anybody.
No, you got a big chunk of land?
Yeah,
Do you?
a couple acres. Not a
Fuck
huge
yeah.
chunk, but big enough.
Nice.
Yeah, I love to garden. I think it's awesome.
My wife and I tried
really
to grow
good.
cucumbers, and they look like a. You ever go and Google a sack, a male's ball bag
All
that
the
has been
time.
infected?
I have
That's
it pulled up right here. I've
exactly
already-
what the cucumbers look like that Katie tried to grow.
infected ball bag.
They
is
look
in
like
my
a
search.
just
They're
like
hard
a,
to pickle.
It's like the cucumbers went, oh, I'm fucking, it's so fat. It's like the cucumber went to fucking, like, all you can eat pizza and just fucking ate a ton of pizza and was just fat as shit and was like, you know what? I'm not going to go long. I'm just going to be a fat as shit fucking piece of cucumber. So we're not good at it. You are. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
but I'm a
fucking-
doomsday prepper. I talk
Oh,
about
you
that.
are?
Yeah, yeah. So that's part of the reason why I do it too. Because
Wait, what do you mean? What do you got? You got
What
a
do you mean?
bunker?
Well, I have I call it my zombie closet,
I love zombies.
and I stockpile stuff. And I
you
keep
into horror movies?
No,
No.
I mean, I yes and no, but
All right.
like I keep like a bug out bag in my car. I've done that since the Boston Marathon.
That's
shit.
fucking smart, dude.
Yeah, with MREs,
Dude,
and
first off-
machetes, and all that stuff.
First off, we've got asteroids could hit us. Yellowstone could go at any point. everybody.
We're on a very inactive fault line on the East Coast. They say if that thing wakes up, we're all fucked.
Dude, I was just out at Palm Springs, and I was overlooking the fault line, which Tool talked about.
Yeah,
San
learn to
Andreas fault.
swim.
Learn to swim. I'm literally like, I could die. It's a beautiful picture. Take
That's
it.
why he lives in Arizona.
Now get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Oh, yeah.
Does he?
Maynard?
Oh, dude,
yeah, he lives in Arizona.
Fucking winery, dude. He's
he's
I
got a
knew that. I didn't know
restaurant.
he
Yeah,
was
he
in
lives in
Arizona.
Arizona.
I'm going to have to get his, I got to try his wine.
You got to hear, speaking of podcasts,
His book was amazing.
Yes.
By the way. His book was fucking
he's
awesome.
good friends with Joe Rogan.
I heard him on Rogan.
And
that was good.
They were great.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Right? Like, go figure. Those
Yeah.
two, like,
Yeah, Maynard's friends with weird people. Like he's
Here's
friends
the
with
question.
Tori Amos, and
the people
I
you've
love him.
The people you've interviewed, who like do you have in your phone? You can like kind of say, "Hey, that's my friend. That's legit my friend." Like Kid Rock, I feel like
Yeah, he and I are decent friends. Although
like meaning like you could throw a text to him here and there or not. Nah, you don't
be
do
a-
that
he's
stuff.
gonna
not
be-
anymore.
He'll be
And
a
we
senator
used to be
soon.
that way. I know, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to name drop,
Yeah.
but like
No,
people
but that's
that
what
are,
I'm asking, is
but
for you to
like
name
Sully
drop.
and I have been friends a long time.
There you go.
Yeah,
I always
Corey
wanted to
Taylor
meet
and
him.
I have been friends a long time.
So if
he
you
was just
see
on
Sully
my podcast, yeah,
and you say, "Hey, you know what, Denny? I haven't seen him in a
yeah.
while."
If you go on the
he'll be
podcast in
like-
the basement,
He'll be
You know-
like, "Oh, Denny."
No.
I remember Denny.
Sully will come over to her house, and I'll be watering her shit out back, and I'll be like, "Oh, hey,
Oh,
I'm just
her
watering
house.
stuff. I'm
Yeah.
I'm the water boy. I used to be a disc jockey at WAAF for
boy.
many years.
Oh,
you
he'll
don't remember me?
Dude, he'll remember.
I'll
you.
teach you how to
Oh,
use my
yeah.
rototiller. It's so awesome.
There's no way he doesn't remember. Danny does not even know what a. Do you know what a
I'm
rototiller is?
learning. I have a fucking house, dude.
You can
I've
borrow
done
my
so much
rototiller
shit
if you
around here.
want.
I've put in screens. I've put in hanging stuff. Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
good.
I got to do all that stuff myself now. 'cause
So
I'm
you don't
divorced.
have. So I would assume Sully's your guy. So Sully's the guy that.
Yeah, we've been.
He's like
friends a
my
long
height, right? He's a
time.
little guy.
Yeah.
Little guy. Now here's a question.
Oh God.
So thinking about all the bands, right? So Tea House of the Almighty is my intro song.
Yeah.
Remember Tea House of the
Oh
Almighty?
yeah, I love those
Fucking
guys.
love those guys.
Seventh
So-
Rail Crew, all those guys.
Yeah. So how hard is it now? And we touched on it earlier, but how hard is it now as a local band to make it?
It's
like,
a lot harder now.
But what is it that pushes somebody through? Like let's put it this way. Who's the most recent band, not local or national, or actually doesn't matter what, that you were like, wow. Like
Well, local band
Cage the
probably
Elephant,
highly
those
suspect.
guys
Those
are-
guys are from the Cape.
those guys, they are, dude.
Yeah, they're
so
from
I
Cape
found
Cod.
them online.
Yeah, they're really, really good.
Their song is one of their songs was Chill Tune, like
Yeah.
so fucking good. I found them randomly. So they are. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're from the Cape.
No kidding. So
It's a lot harder now because radio's job is way different. Like I remember when I started on the air and Tool came out with a new album and a new single. And the record rep, legit, this is what happened. The record rep drove around to all the rock stations and hid a copy of the CD in the bushes. And then called us all simultaneously and
what
said,
album was this? Which one?
well, this had to have been 98, 99,
So would have been Anima?
2000-ish.
Oh,
like
no, the
somewhere in-
Lateralis?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And like called us all and said, the CD's in your bushes. You can
That
play it
is
now.
so
Get
funny.
the fuck out.
Yeah, because it was always a race to get it on the air first because we needed a hard
Holy
copy of
shit.
it. Now they just email it to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
And everybody gets it at the same time.
Yeah.
So back in the day, people would use radio to get their new music first because there was nowhere else to go. The internet does that for people
Yep.
now.
Right? Wait, so here's a question. That's a good example. So, all right, I'm Tool. I got a new record. Where's
please.
the first place that I put that? Is it YouTube? Is
They
it
would
Spotify?
probably-
Is it like where,
It would depend on who they.
do you guys even matter? When I say you guys, I mean
radio,
rock radio.
Absolutely.
Rock radio. So it does.
yes.
So in other words, you got to keep it secret.
Well, they would, but it would depend. Like, they could cut a deal with Rolling Stone magazine, and Rolling Stone could stream it before anybody else got a chance to get their hands on it. Or they could stream. A lot of bands will like stream the whole record to give people a chance to listen to it now, and they strike that deal probably for some kind of compensation
Right.
or whatever. But then we'll get the single. And they'll release it, but that same day they'll have a lyric video up on YouTube.
Oh no shit.
And it'll be this big, because now it's not so much about exclusivity. Now there's so much noise that they need to cover all bases simultaneously so that you can't miss the fact that they just released a song.
Right.
So now it's all about how much ground can we cover at the same time? You're not going to cover all the ground without radio.
Right.
But then they'll want to put up the viral lyric video, or it'll get used in a new trailer, or they'll debut it on the Grammys, and then the next morning
commercials now
that's
break
where all
songs.
the money is. Yeah.
But I think with radio, it's the repetition that gets people to if you're not a hardcore
Well, it's
fan,
like sales. You have to, what does sales say? How many times do you until you actually make a sale? Seven touches make a sale. MTV used to have a death grip on what was popular. Think about that, right? In the 80s. You think about 1983.
Well, radio used to have a death grip before that.
Well,
that's where all the payola stuff came from.
Very good point. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean,
if you could get it on certain radio stations, it would become popular.
Oh, yeah.
And if you couldn't, it never had a chance.
Well, it's the funny thing about radio is I always, everybody would go, oh, when you're on the air, I can tell you're playing the music. And I'm like, I don't play the music. The music director fucking puts it together. That's the thing about radio is, it's pre-programmed as the way it should be, so that you motherfuckers listen as much as possible.
Yeah.
Right?
And there's a lot of research that goes into it.
God, yeah. Bet your ass.
About what songs people like. And radio is a mood medium. So people are in the mood for different things at different times of the day and different seasons of the year, especially in a place like Boston. Like, you want to hear old school David Lee Roth Van Halen in July.
Yeah.
But you want to hear depressing grunge music in January when you're fucking miserable.
So honestly, do you take into the fact?
Oh, absolutely.
I think of
because
311. 311
changes.
is summer to me.
311
exactly. Is a summertime band. Sublime.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm digging into them recently. Oh my god.
Yeah,
There's a documentary about his drug dealer. I forget the fucking name, but whatever. But I found a song from. It's amazing about. I've told this to Ozone a million times. Is rock and roll to me is heaven. But I look at it as this long hallway, and there's Led Zeppelin door, there's the Rolling Stones door, there's the Sublime door, in other words, so on and so forth. And it's a question of how far into that room do you go? Meaning, I know everything about Aerosmith. I know all their songs. I know everything about Led Zeppelin. But it's funny, I kind of eased in on Sublime. And then I start to find songs about I Saw Red, greatest hits from Sublime. And I'm like, I'm 40 fucking, 41 now? And I go, that's with Gwen Stefani? That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This is 20 years later, and I'm like buying the stuff on iTunes going, blown away.
I was late to Nirvana like that.
Yeah.
Because when grunge broke, I was the 80s metal chick.
Yeah.
So I liked Alice in Chains first.
Same here, yeah.
And I liked Soundgarden first. Then I liked Pearl Jam, and then I liked Stone Temple Pilots. But Nirvana, for me, was the last... Like, I eased into grunge through the metal.
Yeah.
Which is why I loved Alice in Chains, because they're like a metal band.
They were right there.
Yeah, they were dark like Sabbath.
Oh, my God, dude.
And then Soundgarden. Yeah, so Nirvana for me was a late... that took me years. And
Go
then,
figure, they only had 4 records, right?
I know.
I mean, fucking Incesticide... I'm sorry,
Bleach.
what's the first? Bleach. Bleach is amazing, by the way. Incesticide, of course.
But I was so used to the 80s polish. Everything in the 80s was polished and shiny.
Glitzy.
Well, that's what I was going to say earlier.
And grunge was so opposite of that.
1987, I remember thinking, I didn't say this earlier, was it can't get any better than this.
Yeah, it's when Appetite for Destruction
remember
came out.
thinking that.
Even now I'd say what's been better than Guns N' Roses, that is fucking
Metallica, I would say.
But they say, I heard a study that says that after a certain age, you just stay there. Obviously,
you make your musical taste.
But your job is to not do that.
Right. But it's hard.
Right.
When I was growing up, you were defined by the music you listened to. So I bucked against stuff like U2 and In Excess and that whole... 80s alternative, I didn't want to listen to that stuff because I was listening to metal.
When you go to a wedding, do you dance? Do you have fun?
Ask the tequila. I'm not kidding. Tequila makes me think I can
Carrie's
dance.
tequila.
When you see me dancing,
earlier,
that's when you know I'm drunk.
By the way, earlier you said you get naked when
Yeah.
you take. So I've put a bunch of tequila in your drink. So
I'll warn you, I'm like the Tasmanian
my wife's
devil.
cool with that.
Ask
so.
my boyfriend.
Oh yeah, should
Your
love
boyfriend,
Yeah.
he can come down here
Ask
too.
my boyfriend. He's seen me.
I would never go near,
I
but
almost
if you
got that
have
poor
to run,
bastard arrested because I was drinking tequila, and he didn't believe me, so he took me out purposefully to get me drunk on tequila because
wait
he
a
thought
second.
it would
So
be
you
fun.
keep telling your boyfriend that I'm fucking bananas. Like
on
I'm
tequila, I am bananas.
okay. All right.
And then he was like, "I'm taking you out for tacos
Please
on
let
Tuesday."
me see this. Let me see this happen.
I would
Yeah,
do the,
and
I
then
would do
and
the
he's
same
like,
thing.
"I'll drive. I'm gonna buy you the margaritas." And then
Yeah.
shit got real, and he was like scolding me like, "Get back in the car, put the seatbelt on, and put your pants on."
So what's your MO when you get fucked up? What's your MO?
What do you
like,
mean?
what do you want to do? Like, is
I
your
wa- I-
MO to love everybody?
It
to
depends
tell
on
people
what I'm
to fuck
drinking.
off and die? Do
Is
you like
it-
finger crosses
What
like
am I
this?
drinking?
Oh, fucking.
Like wine
Hold
makes
on,
me
ready?
super mellow.
Hey, Tony. I always hated you. Even though we do the podcast together.
This is after fucking 3 beers.
Are you like that?
No,
Or
I don't.
you-
I'm not an angry
Imagine
drunk.
3 beers.
3 beers and Denny's
He's really not
swaying.
good at a podcast.
I'm not an angry drunk. If I drink something
I'm
like
so happy.
like
Oh, my
wine,
God.
I'm super mellow.
Yeah.
I want to curl up with a blanket in front of a fire and
I
like
never
chill.
really noticed the difference.
Oh, it affects me
No,
totally different.
I agree.
in different
100%.
But
drinks.
tequila, I get hyper.
It's intense,
and
right?
I get mischievous. I'm not a jerk. I
Like squeeze
just,
guys' asses
I just
and-
want to know where the line is, and then I want to tip my toe over
Precocious.
it. Yeah, like I get really mischievous.
Did your boyfriend think it was as funny as you did?
He thought it was.
That never worked.
He thought it was funny until I almost
The
got
law
him
got
arrested.
involved.
The law didn't get involved, but he was worried that they would. Because the places I was trying to go had big restricted signs on them, and he was like, "Please don't go in there,
It's
and
one-
please put your pants on."
Oh, were you down south?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you have any good blackout stories? Like,
No,
come on. What do you mean?
No.
Why?
no?
How would you? You don't remember it.
no, I don't.
No, in other words,
I
you ever
don't
wake
get,
up somewhere fucked up?
Oh.
No, I don't get blackout drunk because I know what
I
my
do.
limit is, and so
You're talking about tequila taking you over.
I don't get it. I don't black out.
But she
you
remembers
stop.
it.
Yeah,
She
but I
stops.
stop because I
Alright.
don't like to get sick and I don't like being an idiot. So I know when I get to that point and
Yeah.
then I stop.
I
And then it's
gotcha.
all about maintaining.
It's right
at that
before
level.
the
Maintenance.
point of arrest.
Yeah. Like I don't want to wake up with a summer squash in my ass in someone's trunk. So as long as that doesn't happen, I'm good. Like I don't want to get arrested. I just want to do something that could get me arrested, but I don't want to get caught.
Yeah.
We got another game,
Oh,
folks. We got
Boy.
one more. This one's directed exactly at Mistress Carrie.
Oh, great.
We can get with this, or we can get with that, or we can get with
Oh,
this.
boy.
And this
All
is
right.
where it's at.
All right.
Who's the black sheep? What's the black sheep? Come on, come on, come on. Is that how it goes?
That's how it goes.
Thank you. I used to have terrible.
Once we get through this,
Actually, our last game, I wasn't really good with those lyrics at all.
Well, because you were singing them out of tempo.
But I love how I'm at work going, jizz, that'll be funny. I'm literally sitting in my cube going, jizz is funny. All right, WBV podcast 95, this or that game
Okay.
with the famous Mistress Carrie. WAAF's Mistress Carrie in the house. It's a very simple game.
I'm
It's
sure
not.
it
It's not a
is.
game. It's not a game. It's one or the other.
Okay.
And just tell me why.
All right.
Here we go. WBV 95, this or that game. Mistress Carrie, Friday the 13th or Halloween? What's your favorite horror series?
Friday the 13th.
Thank you. She's very
I
smart
like
to
the
say
hockey
that.
mask.
Thank you. Neil Diamond or Christopher Cross? Our love.
Oh.
Neil Diamond or Christopher.
You know what? I'm going Christopher Cross.
Yeah.
Because I like Arthur.
yes, yes.
Go ahead, do it.
What am I doing?
What's our favorite song?
Just can get with them.
Well, you got to give me some heads up on that.
Sail Away.
Oh,
Sailing.
Is that?
sailing.
We have
takes
to
me
do it.
away to
That-
where I'm going.
He's a fucking angel. You realize that, right?
You sure does.
He's a
If
great
there-
the voice of an
songwriter.
angel.
If there is Jesus, there is Christopher Cross at
Okay.
his side.
Oh,
Look at it.
Doesn't this just it hits me right here?
and the
I
cockles
agree.
of my
as many
soul.
times
Hold
as
on.
I've
Pause that
played
for
it.
1 second. Pause that for 1 second.
This better be good.
So check this out.
I know you just paused Christopher Cross.
No,
That's
no, no.
One of the
sin.
best parts.
I'll tell you why, and you have to do this after. Recently, so I love the doors, right? You go down a hallway and you
Yeah.
find Richard Marx's door.
Oh boy.
Endless
Mullet
summer-
or no mullet, Richard Marks?
I think it's a mullet.
Mullet.
Okay.
You gotta-
Endless summer nights. Carrie, I'm losing my mind. I'm like, I gotta buy this. I
Now,
gotta buy
now,
it.
now, why?
Endless summer nights. Oh, I'm going to. All right, here we go. WBV, this or that. Red Bull and vodka or Heady Topper IPA.
Red Bull and vodka all day.
Red Bull and vodka.
The
all-
sugar-free.
That's my drink.
Sugar-free Red Bull and vodka.
That
Oh,
talk
yeah?
about fucking blacking out.
Yeah.
I lost a vehicle.
Yeah, but you're
once.
fucking. You're
all jacked up. But
yeah,
you-
like me, like
You'll black out.
jacked up,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Sit up some push-ups.
Yeah, I love Red Bull. I drink it all the time.
Double cheeseburger or steak and cheese.
Where is it from though? Five Guys.
You let her.
I'm going to go double cheeseburger.
I'm with you.
Me too.
Because
Steak and
even the
cheese?
bad version of a double cheeseburger is going to be better than a bad steak and cheese.
Bad steak and cheese when they don't put enough. I always say extra cheese. And the steak's dry, not enough cheese.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck that.
It's
And
That's
I-
bullshit.
I like the shaved steak and cheese, but I like
Yeah.
the chunky steak and cheese better.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a shaved guy.
Yeah,
Oh, I need that
shaved.
shaved, lots of cheese.
Yeah, but it gets dry if they
Everything's
don't. If
subjective,
It's a fine
though.
line.
I got
Yeah.
you.
There's
I
a
got
fine
you.
line.
But I'm going to go double cheeseburger.
Double cheeseburger. Here we
With
go.
pickles.
Cash Me Outside Girl or William Hung. Cash Me Outside
I'm
Girl.
going William Hung.
William Hung.
Yeah.
She banged. She banged.
I don't like that.
I'm
Cash Me Outside
The
girl.
fucking fact that that girl is making $1 million.
a lot. She just
Makes
signed
me
a
sad.
record deal. She has the highest debut on the Hot 100 chart for a female rapper. Her rap song, piece of shit rap song, debuted at like 70 something on the chart.
Carrie,
That's
I'm-
how she just signed a record deal with Atlantic Records.
I'm an aging male who does a podcast, and I'm going to say with 100% that
It's so bad.
I am so more talented than that fucking bitch.
Yeah.
I do not sniff it.
And it's
Listen to this
You don't
piece
like-
of shit.
You don't like Bad Bobby?
Yeah, that's her name, Bad Bobby. This is Dem Hose, right? Is this what it's called?
White horse. Hi, bitch.
Did you say white horse or white whores?
Hi, bitch.
Yeah, it's called.
It's what you know.
Please stop, please
How about
stop,
that?
Please stop, please stop.
I thought it was Dem Hose. Was
This
hi,
probably.
bitch? What you know?
This may be the B-side.
Could you imagine the fellas that are directing her to sing?
Oh.
How about this? Yeah,
Oh,
you're directing a
my
14-year-old girl.
What is she now? She's
She's
She
like
was-
15.
she's
She's
fu-
still a
she's-
full-blown minor.
oh my god.
Yeah.
dude.
And like her parents are in this weird custody thing because her
Yeah, now
mom's got
that-
custody and the dad doesn't want her to be doing any of this shit, and it's like a mess.
Oh, it's like the Corey Feldman thing. Same
Yeah.
idea. Like
Yeah.
they were fucking.
Except she
nightmares.
wasn't hanging out with Michael
Except
Jackson.
Corey Feldman is talented.
He's
a good
adamant.
actor.
Wow, that's a bell curve.
He was though. I
Oh,
don't know
now
what
he's
he's
an
doing
actor,
now.
yeah.
Not as a musician.
Well, he's
No.
adamant that Michael did nothing. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
I
he's-
think just hanging around with Michael Jackson.
he was actually pretty open about stuff that he got touched and Corey Haim got touched, but he didn't say anything about Mike.
I guess
about
Corey Haim got passed around by.
Well,
like,
Corey
Hollywood
Haim also
producers
wanted it from the book.
Well,
no,
he
no,
said
no, in
that?
the
Corey
book, no.
when he
Feldman
was a
said that?
kid.
No,
though.
in the
I know.
book, Corey Feldman said that Corey Haim was like, "Hey, who's that guy? Bring him over. I'm so horny."
Oh Jesus!
But
Yeah,
that's what he
But
said.
if you grow up as a kid getting abused,
Oh, that's different. Yeah. Of
Denny's
course.
a
That's all you know.
Denny's a rape apologist. He's always been. I don't like that
I'm
shit.
down with rape. Rape's cool, man.
oh god,
Yeah.
this is where I reach into my purse and
Mm.
stab you.
Stop it. You're silly. Here we go.
All right, hit
we
me.
continue. WBCN or WFNX? Both defunct.
Yeah, both gone.
Both gone. So people don't know. That's
well, I did
in
not-
Boston. These were two rock stations
Yeah.
that have gone by the wayside. WAAF. My
I
alma
didn't
mater.
grow up listening to BCN, so I don't have the love for BCN the way that a lot of people did. I grew up listening to AAF because I grew up in Leominster. So
I'm BCN guy.
I grew up with an inherent hatred of BCN because,
Oh, okay.
and so I would give more respect to an FNX for being kind of the underground.
Yeah, like the college sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was very like.
because the
cutting
BCN
edge.
guys were
Yeah.
I liked that.
jerks to me from day. Like Mark Parento was a total prick.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He was a
Speaking
fucking
This is
kid
before
toucher.
we knew
Speaking
he was
of
touching
having
kids,
sex
though.
with kids.
Yeah,
He's a
but this was
fucking kid toucher.
before that. Like he was just a prick back then.
Oh yeah, douchebag.
Yeah,
That's the thing too, man. I'll tell you right now. In the industry, to be fucking cool, people get like you get far like being a good person. Like if you're a
But
fucking
they were
asshole,
such a huge station for
that
so
they didn't-
long.
they didn't give a fuck.
That they had
The big
such
mattress
an
and-
attitude about it.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
so fucking awful.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
boom.
And then that's
Gone.
why I kept a bottle of Dom Perignon on my desk. Once I became successful at AAF and then became the music director, I had like a $300 bottle of champagne that I kept on my desk. And people would come in and go, "Is there champagne in there?" And I go, "Yeah." And they're like, "What's that for?" And I used to say when BCN goes off the air, and they would laugh at me like I was an idiot, like it could never happen. And everybody knew that that's what that champagne was for.
Yeah.
And so the day they went off the air, I got like 50 emails that said, "Please tell me you're drinking that champagne." And I was like, "Yep, out of
Bet your
styrofoam,
fucking
motherfucker."
ass.
Yeah.
Wow.
I drank it out of styrofoam. Yeah.
Why was that? So were they so like? What was the deal with that? Why did they
They
implode?
we were kicking the shit out of them in the ratings.
Okay.
And I think that the company realized that there was more of an upswing because BCN had the rights to the Patriots already.
Right.
And so I think they saw an angle for them to launch another sports station and that there was way more of an upswing for revenue and that they could launch it with the Patriots. And so they took it off because that's what they like trying to cover it, but they were getting the shit kicked out of them.
Right.
By
Wow.
us.
Yeah.
Like you can go back and look at the ratings. We were
Well,
killing
because they
them.
played fruity music. They played.
Well,
like
there was
fucking,
a point where they were playing Disturbed and Godsmack because they thought they were going to
No,
take
they
those
tried to pull it
bands
out, I
from
remember.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
what are you guys doing? You're embarrassing yourselves.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, well, I mean,
Yeah.
think if you remove Stern and O&A.
Well, that's right. I forgot
From
about
that,
Stern was a big
once they
part
were
of
syndicated?
BCN. Yeah.
I mean, ratings
But
wise,
they
didn't.
coasted on their call letters for a long
Oh, yeah.
time.
Well,
and
they're-
they had a great signal, so they always had a
Yeah.
better signal than we did.
I
But
think. I mean, most people online. I do a lot of like online stuff, and they say everybody says their fatal mistake was not hiring Denny Dotsey on the air to do 9 a.m.
They
to
sealed
5
their fate.
9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The first disc jockey
Yeah.
to do 8 hours.
You're a real blue
Yeah.
collar guy.
There'd be nothing better than an
Punching-
8-hour air shift.
Denny Dots. Denny Dots punching in for my shift.
8 hours on the air. And here we are, easing our way into hour 7 of the big program.
You know what I want to talk about in this hour is you, my listeners.
You've run out of everything else to talk about.
Yeah.
I want
Could
to
you
talk
imagine-
about black holes.
That's a funny concept. Think about
being on
like-
the air that long.
Well, here's a good story. So remember, Matt Leonard. So I was up in Tewksbury, and I would drive into AAF, and there was storm was horrifying storm. No way could
Yeah,
I.
he's
get,
the guy that got snowed in, right?
dude. I
For
called.
like 36 hours.
I
He
called
was
the-
stuck on the air.
I called the program. The only time ever that I've stopped, literally, my windshield wiper stopped, and I said, "Dude, I will die."
Yeah, I can't
So
get
I
to
think
work.
it might have been who's the other one after Dave?
Keith?
Keith, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I said I texted, so I can't do it. Matt was there. He literally did, I think, 3 or 4 shifts.
Yeah.
Like,
He was
horrifying.
stuck in the
like
studio.
eating out of the fucking vending machine. Like, dude, our job. And I watched your documentary. By the way, everybody, check out Mistress Carrie's 13-minute documentary.
Yeah, I watched it. after you told me. It
She's
was good.
honestly, guys, she's amazing. She's fucking amazing at what she does.
Yep.
That was a
check out-
student documentary.
That
a
was-
student at Emerson
Oh,
put
really?
that together.
That
yeah.
was really well done.
You know who did that
Go to
documentary? This is
YouTube.
going to blow your mind. Are you ready?
Yep.
Steve Melizewski, the guitar player from Reveille, did
No
that
way.
documentary.
Reveille.
Yeah. He
fucking-
graduated from Emerson.
Real.
Yeah, he was a film
That's
student
another
at Emerson.
band that should have made it.
Yeah.
God damn.
And so he called me up and he was like, I need to do a senior project for my film degree at Emerson.
Yeah.
And I need to do a short documentary. Can I do it about you and your trips overseas and all that kind of stuff? And I was
Great
like, yeah, sure.
fucking job.
Yeah,
Very
he did he got an
professional.
A.
Very
And it was really
professional.
cool because they had all the senior film students and they showed all the documentaries on the big screen in the theater at Emerson. And he invited me and his whole family was there. And I watched myself on a big screen. And it was very weird. But he did a really, really good job.
I would have loved that, Tony.
Seeing
Watching
yourself on a
myself-
giant
Oh,
screen.
God. Denny Dotson
Are there
needs-
any students at like Middlesex want to do a
Want to come down in the
quick
basement?
documentary on us?
It was amazing. From 98 to 2008, Denny Dotsey ran WAAF. All right, let's continue. Skydiving or shooting range? skydiving or shooting range?
I'm going to say skydiving just because I've been doing it longer. But I love both.
That's got to be the most horrifying thing on the planet.
Skydiving?
Yeah.
I have no desire to do
Nope.
that.
Nope.
I've been jumping since 90. I made my
How many?
first
How many?
almost 400, I think.
Oh
Stop
my
it.
God.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, and that's nothing compared to the people. I know a guy that's got 14,000.
Tell me about your first
Jesus.
one. Your very first one. Did you shit your pants? You must have shit your
No,
pants.
I have it on video.
She's
Did
never
you have a
shit her
diaper?
pants.
She's never shit her pants.
No.
All right.
I'm not in the I Shit My Pants Club.
Okay.
They called me on the request line when I was doing nights at AAF and said, if you think you're that tough, you should come skydiving with us. It was people that worked at the drop zone. And so I went out and made a tandem.
If
And
you think you're that
That's
tough.
very.
if you think you sound like a badass, but you're not
Hey.
that much of a badass until you
That's
jump
kind
out.
of
Hey,
funny.
you know
So
what?
I went
Let's
out and did it.
Hey, it's Denny from Worcester. Hey, I own a fucking skydiving company. Want to possibly die?
That's
And
no
I was like,
way to-
sure.
It's
Because I always wanted to do it.
You got to realize it's possibly dying every time.
Not really. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're possibly dying when you get on 93
I know,
every
right?
day.
True. True.
22 people died last year
What's-
skydiving.
all right, let's
45
get
people
into-
died by vending machine.
Let's get into this. What's the rush like, and can you masturbate on the way down?
No, but the sex afterwards is amazing.
It must be a fuck.
How
It's
soon
awesome.
afterwards?
I don't know. How quick
Like
can you
the
get your
same day?
jumpsuit off?
Okay,
Of course,
all
the
right.
same day, like within the hour.
Wait, so your adrenaline is like
Yes.
fucking crazy,
And
right?
so if you go up and then you come down, you go up and you come down, you ride this roller coaster. And at the end of the day, you're so relaxed and you're so amped up that you have sex and then you sleep better than you've ever slept.
No way, dude.
Yes. Sex after skydiving is fantastic.
Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
fucking horrifying.
No, it's awesome.
All right, I'm gonna believe you. All right, here we go. Fudge Mountain or Supercuts Island.
What?
Well, these are two WBV things. In other words, do you like the mountains or islands?
I'm gonna go islands because I
You're an island?
don't like freezing cold temperatures, even though I live in Boston.
So Fudge Mountain is actually, I adopt a child and I buy a house that has an in-ground pool, and every single time he has to go poo-poo, I go on the diving board and I hold his body over and he poops into the pool and we fill it up with feces.
What is wrong with you?
And Supercuts Island.
Supercuts Island.
So
is-
Supercuts Island is, you know Supercuts, right?
Yes.
You know how they get trained. There's an island in the Pacific that there's actual heads that grow out of the ground, and they actually
like
they
Easter Island.
Yeah, exactly. But it's actually
real
human.
heads.
Oh, but
it's
real
human
heads.
And then all these girls show up on a boat, and then they go la 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 la, and you cut their hair. They're actual
Are
heads.
you high right now?
No, I'm not high right now.
Are you sure?
I'm not.
The real
Okay.
joke is that it's not true because Supercuts doesn't train their hairdressers.
I know. Thank you. All right, so we're going with island.
Island, yeah.
Island. All right, here we go. White lion or white snake?
I'm going White Snake. David Coverdale is a Casanova.
Who is the lead singer of White Lion? I should know that. What's his name?
some dude, blonde,
picture him.
long hair,
Oh,
little
what
fighter.
the hell is
Remember
his
Little
name?
Fighter?
Rise again, little
Fighter.
fighter. I fucking
When the
love.
children cry.
Oh, what
Wait.
what an obvious
Wait.
like ass kissing ballot for the time.
They-
They're like, oh, people.
He
are gonna
was.
eat
He
this
had
shit
like a
up.
weird name, didn't he? Because they weren't. He wasn't from the U.S. Like
Who? Which one?
White Lion.
Oh,
They were Scandinavian or something.
get
I
out of
thought.
here!
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's the Google
Oh,
machine?
by the
say?
way, BT
Mike Tramp,
Oh.
Vito Bratta.
Oh,
James,
Vito. That's
James, Danish. You're
Oh,
right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
forgot about Mike Tramp though.
speaking
That's
about
not,
that-
that's not a.
Vocalist Mike Tramp.
Is
I
Doug,
guarantee
great
that
name.
wasn't his given name.
Oh shit.
is Doug Dave Greenbreen still on at
No.
AF? Oh, I
His
miss
father founded IKEA. No, I'm just kidding.
Doug Dave Greenbreen.
No, he's too busy.
But he's got Living Color coming to his
Yeah,
pins.
the pins
That's
in
fucking
Kingston.
awesome.
Yeah.
How do we plug that? Kings and Pinston.
Where's Pinston?
Pins
Pinston,
in
Mass?
Kingston.
Kingston Pins.
Yeah.
Doug Dave Greenbreen, who's a great guy. He was a WAAF disc jockey. Check out, if you go online, you can see that he's got Living Color, who's a fucking
Yeah,
great band
I
from the 80s.
love that
Cult of
band.
Personality. Oh, dude, I'd love to see
So
them.
good.
Hey,
Vernon Reed is an underrated guitar player.
Unbelievable.
So
Unbelievable.
do you want to do?
Who's your favorite guitar player?
Do you want to do our halfway break?
Huh?
I'm just kidding. I'm trying to freak out. We do a 4-hour podcast.
Yeah,
I don't
whatever.
we
No,
think
no.
we're Joe Rogan. I know. I'm kidding.
Favorite guitar player?
Everybody goes Eddie.
No,
Everybody.
I wouldn't go Eddie. No,
Prince?
I would say maybe Jimmy Page.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's like rhythm. He's like everything.
Because I
damn.
really liked like the dark, kind of spooky air about Jimmy
He pulled the
Page.
fucking violin thing out, man.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. All right, last one. Here we go.
Yeah.
WBV podcast or animal slaughtering documentary.
Oh, I'm going podcast all day.
Hey-oh.
I don't like watching anything bad when it comes to animals.
No, I
like if you
can't.
fuck with
I
an animal,
can't.
I want to stab you in the face.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you, Mistress Carrie. We're at two hours at this point.
Oh.
We're going to go ahead and wrap up the podcast.
Whoa.
Go ahead and plug. You've got your side piece.
Yeah, Side Piece Podcast. You can check that out on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. You can even tell your smart speakers to play Mistress Carrie Side Piece, and it shows up.
Really?
Yeah. You can tell those speakers to play WAAF, and it shows up. And you can
It's
listen
amazing how
yeah.
much.
We live in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we legit live in the future.
It's amazing.
So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, WAAF.com. I'm everywhere.
I want to thank her so much.
I
First
do,
off,
too.
once again, I want to say I thank you so much for being such a good person to me in my life.
Aww.
And you literally were so sweet to me.
You're
And
totally ruining my bitchy vibe, yo.
no, I mean we're pretty much the same age.
Good thing no one's going to hear this.
No, but I honestly do. I do appreciate. I'm glad. I really appreciate the fact that you came here tonight. Love to have you come back.
Of course, I'll come back
Love to
anytime.
have you come back.
I apologize it took me this long.
Oh, please.
Oh, I
It's all
I
good.
felt bad for you.
No, it's
sitting
all
in
good.
that
There's
traffic.
always something going on, and
Yeah.
I'm always, doing
Yeah.
something stupid. So,
It's all good. All right, WBV podcast 95.
oh
because
God,
my
will you
mic-
stop unplugging your microphone?
Keep grabbing the
Just
fucking end.
let the cash me outside girl take us out.
I can't
All right.
look at her.
Thank you for
bad
listening.
Bobby.
Check out Mistress Carrie. Check out Tony. Check me out. Love y'all.
Like a money tree. Shopping these deals like a money spree. Can't get you the gang, gotta charge a fee. Queen of Rack City, give me